Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant, Brett, Landon with you on a Thursday afternoon. We're with you for the next 3 hours. We're Sports Time, and we've got a lot to get into this afternoon. Got to talk college football, got to talk the NFL, get ready for another weekend of football. We also got to talk about the Grizzlies. They lost again last night against the Houston Rockets. We'll start getting ready for the Tiger basketball season, as we'll do W's and L's a little bit later and talk some Tigers with Greg Gaston. So a ton to get into this afternoon. But Brett, back with us. How are you this afternoon?
Doing great, Brian. Really, really good to be back. And you know you are getting old that when you take a day or two off, all your friends call and check on you.
Well, it's good, Brett. It's good to know that people care about you and they want to make sure you're all right. But yes, that I guess is.
So thank you so much.
I guess that's a sign of the times. But yes, you're all good. Just, enjoying a couple days, which hey, you deserve it. And but glad to have you back.
Went to the Grizzlies last night, and we will talk a lot about that.
Yeah, no, it was not fun again last night against what I think is a really good Houston Rockets team. Yeah, I know we're going to talk a lot about from the Grizzlies' perspective, but I do think they were going up against a really good Rockets team last night with some really, really talented basketball players. But this stretch just continues to get worse because of this gauntlet that they're playing in right now. But I mean, Brett, they threw in they waved the white towel with about 2 minutes left, down 20. So that game was pretty easily a Houston win all night.
What was the fivesome at the end of the game?
What was that?
PJ Hall, Omax.
Yeah, it was PJ, Omax, Gigi, Javon Small, and Jalen Wells. But hey, that's your wave the white flag lineup. I mean, that's you knew, and they said it on the broadcast right coming out of that timeout that. All right, Isolo's put in the end of the bench, and here we go, which is crazy, might I add. I know all the focus is on Ja Morant and kind of what's going on with that situation, but wild that we're talking about end-of-bench rotation, wave the white towel type of lineup that includes Gigi Jackson, and that's the only minutes he got last night.
Yeah, that's sending a sign.
Sending a big sign. We've talked about it. He has been down with the hustle the last couple of days. So has Zach Edey. We know Zach Edey's down there for rehabilitation with that injury. Gigi Jackson is down there, and I think I saw DeMichael Cole put out that it was a conversation between him and the coaching staff. Both sides agreed, send him down there to get some extra work, but not a good sign when you're being sent down to South Haven with the hustle.
I know a lot of conversation about Ja and where it stands with Tomas Isolo. Brian, we were talking just before we came on.
Mm-hmm.
You feel almost certain, maybe not for his complete approval, but the front office had to run by Ja Morant, the star player, the face of the franchise, the first superstar we've ever had, the makes the most money, all the stuff that goes with superstardom. He's that. They had to at least run by him. What do you think in the interim period? We're going to do this. Do you have any big objections? They had to at least listen, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but I recall after at least media days or maybe it was the end of the season last year when the questions were, do you think Isolo should be the next head coach? And his response was something along the lines of, I think he would be good for the game that I like to play. I mean, it felt like what he had to say about Tomas Isolo and the perspective of him being the next head coach was very positive, and it felt like he had his support. Now, again, sometimes you get different things talking to the media and behind closed doors, but at least everything we heard made it sound like he was, everything he said was very positive about Tomas Isolo.
Like he signed off and was fine by it. I didn't think Tomas Isolo did anything in that interim period that got him the job. He got the job the day they fired Taylor Jenkins.
Brett, let's even go further. But he got the job the day he was hired on the staff as an assistant. He was the next coach no matter what.
That's right. And please tell me when any European coach has ever won as head coach in the NBA.
It hasn't happened. I mean, I can't think of any off the top of my head.
It just hadn't happened. And now, these few games in, the star player cuts him off at the knees.
Yeah, and Now there's
I
reporting.
don't know that he ever recovers.
No, Brett, I don't think
Memphis
so either.
as head coach.
I don't think so either. I think you look at the reaction from the fan base, and it has been very now anti-Isolo. And I've heard a lot on social media, on different outlets of fans, very, very frustrated, very upset with Tomas Isolo and what he's done. And a lot of that has been because of what we're seeing on the court, and mainly with Ja Morant and kind of this situation that has happened over the last couple of days.
But the blame game, you can cast a wide net.
Mm-hmm.
Only if somebody from these airwaves in late April and early May was saying this is a great time to totally reset.
Mm-hmm.
And that means Wexler out, Kleiman out. The coach was already out. And trade John Jaren right now. And I said about Ja Morant, only if somebody said these things.
Mm-hmm.
I said trade Ja Morant right now, at minimum, the next big incident.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that next big miss 40, 50 games injury.
Mm-hmm.
He's still 6 foot, 175 pounds, and now playing like it.
Mm-hmm.
And now Jaren Jackson, more than he ever has in his career here, at 6'10", playing at 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
Last night there was a point he had more fouls than attempted field goals.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what the offense is. And these two, Ja and Jaren, that have been around far at all here, to very little ultimate team success.
Mm-hmm.
Individual,
Sure.
bank accounts, everything. They've earned every bit of that.
Absolutely.
But for the team, this is a team sport.
Mm-hmm.
This is not bicycling. This is not golf. This is not tennis. This is the NBA, where you have to play in a team aspect. They've done very little.
Mm-hmm.
And I can show you in the record book how little they've done with one playoff advancement that's already cost one coach.
Yeah.
And for people that don't like it when I get on Wexler and Kleiman, too bad. It starts with them. They are the decision makers.
Mm-hmm.
It's sure not the international scouting department's fault.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, and I've talked about this with a couple of my friends, and we were talking about it before we started the show today. No matter what side you fall on with Ja Morant, with Coach Isolo, with the team itself, I don't know how you see anything that's happened this year and not have some sort of blame that falls on the general manager. No matter what side you're on. I mean, it has not been good at all, and the guy that has made all of these decisions is Kleiman. It's the general manager.
And I think above him in Wexler.
Sure.
Now, is he making day-to-day basketball decisions? I don't know that, but I think more than just business ops
Sure.
and marketing.
Sure.
And he is the league designee at meetings and things.
No, he definitely is. But, when you're talking about, I mean, how many games are we through now? What, 8, 9, 10? I mean, whatever they're through. We haven't been very far into the season. We're only a couple weeks into the season, and we're having real conversations about how long does the head coach that is in his first year, how long does he last? I mean, that is a disaster.
It is. It's nightmarish.
And you can't just blame the coach for that. You can't just say, he's not a good coach. Let's clean our hands and move on.
3-6, 2 weeks. Last night was 2 weeks removed from opening night. That feels like forever ago.
It really does.
And how much has changed? How much has changed since halftime last Friday night, Halloween against the Lakers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it was scary. I mean, it really embodied Halloween.
It did, and it also embodies. It's a good reflection of the Ja years. We're now talking, for a lot of years, young, precocious, small town guy, small college, learned the ways around the league. He had the off the court stuff that this fan base rallied around him, supportive around him. It was not critical. It didn't cast a lot of judgment. We didn't. The fan base didn't. Everybody ready to forgive and move on. Sits down with the commissioner of the NBA that I was told it was stern and no unspoken terms. Don't let it happen again. A month later, waving around a gun again.
Yeah.
Still, we're still kind of signing off a little bit and giving some sway to Young, etc. Now we're 26 and still the most sullen, insolent non-serious 26-year-old in sports.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we talked about it. I mean, just very, very mature, and that's shown with a lot of things, especially the last couple weeks. Now, I was looking for it, and I didn't see much, and so I asked you, what did Ja speak to the media last night? I did not see much of any quotes from Ja Morant last night.
I did not. I didn't. I went to the game. I did not go to post game. I don't know how they handled the locker room, and we know how combative it got Monday night.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about it. Certainly Friday was not good. I was not as moved by Monday night's press conference as I was Friday. And so that's why I wanted to see what did he say last night, and kind of how was he last night. Because, everyone's been talking about he has the cryptic Instagram post yesterday where it felt like he was saying, I take the blame. Almost kind of felt like I realized I was wrong. I'm ready to move on. And then I was kind of waiting, and I didn't see anything, and so I didn't know if you saw anything, because I completely. I mean, I saw one thing. I think that Michael tweeted out of it wasn't a quote, but it was Ja Morant talked about something with Jaren, I think, and that was really all I saw about Ja Morant saying anything.
And to the media people that have asked tough questions, the blowback against them by so many of how dare you ask that question. I think it's getting close to time. I did not do it last night, and I'm not going to do it in the next few days because I'm not going to be there. But I think it's getting close time to point blank. Do you want to be traded?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's certainly everyone's speculating, and I mean, I can't get on my phone without seeing potential trade, proposals for.
Where does anywhere really fit?
That's the thing. I mean, I've seen Sacramento and. Who's the other one I saw?
What's
Minnesota?
the return?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, at this point, I don't know.
What's the return for Jaren?
Well, I really don't know. I really don't know. I saw,
and maybe the reason why they didn't do it back in the spring when I wanted to do it, there was no return then.
Might be. It certainly doesn't feel like there's much of a return now. And I think you look at, I know Chris Mannix from Sports Illustrated had a story out yesterday, and there was somebody else, maybe it was Mark Spears on ESPN, but saying that they've had conversations with executives around the NBA, and they said I wouldn't trade for him right now.
I saw the Mark Spears comments, and they were said as most of Mark's comments are, and I've known Mark since he was the beat writer for the Tulsa World, covering Nolan's basketball teams at Arkansas.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
I go back that far with Mark Spears. Never been an aggressive guy. Never asked with that tone. And he was speaking in that same usually pretty soft, measured way as he was. And the criticism he got for it. Look, the Grizzlies have been treated cream puffery forever here. Forever here. We almost treat the Grizzlies almost like it's, boy, this is going to be a little, but like it's Ronald McDonald House. Like, you just can't be critical. There's nothing to be critical of Ronald McDonald House.
No,
but with the Grizzlies, just don't dare go there. Don't dare go there and ask a pointed question.
Yeah. No, definitely not at all. We have some text messages coming in, and text us your thoughts on all of this. Ja Morant, the Grizzlies, whatever might be the 60 Log Cabin listener line 901-360-8255. One texter said, "It seemed Triple J and others looked so disinterested last night. To only have 2 points at half by him says it all. Something has to change immediately before it all implodes." Something that we talked about before the show as well. Jaren has been really bad these last couple of games, but it's kind of all been overshadowed by the Ja Morant.
And the first comeback is going to be, I think he's averaging around 18.
Sure.
He gets 18 by opening the scorebook.
Yeah, well, last night I don't care about how many points he finished with. Last night, 6 attempts total in the game? I mean, that's not good at all. Another texter texted in and said, "Trade him to the Timberwolves, let him chill out there." I mean, I've seen a lot of proposed just people making up trades for the Timberwolves, and it reports coming out that they're certainly monitoring this situation. But let us know your thoughts. Against This is Log Cabin. Listener line 901-360-8255. But let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Pat Smith from Jocks down in Birmingham. He'll join us. We'll talk about college football, what happened last weekend, the college football playoff rankings that were released earlier this week, preview some of the games this week, and we'll do all of that in our next segment with Pat Smith. 3:45, we'll get back into the conversation about the Grizzlies. We'll talk about last night's game against the Houston Rockets and everything else going on right now with this Grizzlies team as they get ready for the Dallas Mavericks tomorrow night, who they've been struggling to start the season. They lost again last night to the New Orleans Pelicans, so a Dallas team also looking for wins. They'll enter FedEx Forum tomorrow night. 4 o'clock, Keith Smith from Spot Track and the Front Office Show. He'll join us. We'll talk the NBA with him. We'll get his thoughts on everything going on here in Memphis, but we'll talk everything else going on in the NBA as well. 4:30, oh man, time for W's and L's. The Tiger basketball season gets started on Saturday against San Francisco, so we'll give our W's and L's for the season. We'll do that at 4:30. 4:45, big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Greg Gaston, he'll join us. We'll talk Tigers with him. We'll talk a lot of Tiger football as they get ready for a big-time matchup tomorrow night at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium against Tulane. We'll also talk basketball as, like I mentioned, the Tigers getting ready to host San Francisco on Saturday. 5:30, we'll talk about what's trending, and at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Mo's Crunch Time. I mentioned Greg. I just saw on Greg's Twitter, Greg is at the press conference that is going on right now for the arena football team that is coming to Memphis. So we'll have to ask him about that. The Arena League is returning to Memphis. This is Greg's tweet.
Are they going to play at Bass Pro?
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to be playing at Bass Pro. But we'll have to ask Greg that because I've not been able to find where they're going to be playing. I would assume South Haven, but I really don't know.
What was the market clamoring for that?
I don't know, but Brett,
where is it?
I'll tell you this. I'll be all in on arena football. I love arena football, but this Arena League, it's the Arena League that is coming. It's a couple lower tiers than the highest.
I'll be all that. You got us covered on it.
Yeah, I'll cover it. Believe me, I'll be the beat writer for. If anybody's looking for a beat writer for the arena team in Memphis, call me. But I got to remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. The hot tub and swim spa clearance sale going on right now at Family Leisure. Hot tubs starting at $24.99. Swim spas starting at $14.99. In-stock patio furniture now up to 50% off. Hot tub covers starting at $249, and spa steps and cover lifts starting at just $99. Special financing, it's available, and if you mention this ad, receive a free gift with a hot tub purchase. So head out there to Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40.
We are Sportstime. We're with you until 6 o'clock, and we want you to be a part of our show by texting or calling the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line at 901-360-8255. Produced by Landon Schmidt. He's Bryant. I'm Brett. And we're live and local and with you until 6 o'clock. We want you to be a big part of our show, always from our Family Leisure Studios. And this hour brought to you by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2025 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by the only Lexus dealership in town at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2025 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it is the Memphis Grizzlies. Another loss last night, this time against the Houston Rockets. I think Houston Rockets, they've won 5 games in a row. They're really rolling, and I think have a really fun team. We've talked a lot about Şengün, obviously Kevin Durant on that team, even though he wasn't very efficient last night in that game, but Amin Thompson played really well last night. But the big story is what happened for the Grizzlies. It was another night where they came out super slow in the first quarter. The first quarters have not been kind at all to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Only Brooklyn with a bigger
I think
point
that's right.
differential in the first quarter?
I think that's right. No, they are really, really poor in the first quarter. Finished shooting somewhere around 25% from the field at the end of the first quarter. Just have not been able to get anything going.
Opening tip.
Yeah, I mean, it really is really, really poor in that first quarter. And then they'll kind of go on those runs and make close. I mean, I would love to look, and it's something that I'll look at. If you take away the first quarter, I wonder what these scores look like, because it's just been really bad out the gate. But it was another night where Jaren Jackson Jr., and this time just very inefficient, 2 for 6 from the field. Only 6 field goals attempted in that game, finished with 6 rebounds, finished with 5 blocks. But it was the shooting after the game. A lot of questions about his aggressiveness and what he's bringing. Isolo saying that they need him to be more aggressive. Ja Morant last night, he finished with 17 points, but it was 6 for 19 shooting. It was 1 for 7 from 3. And you're looking around right now, Jock Landale's your best three-point shooter on the team. I mean, that rainbow three that he throws up there, it's been fun. You got something from Cam Spencer shooting the ball last night, but it was another lopsided loss, and it really comes down to the team is really struggling shooting the ball. The team's really struggling rebounding, and especially you look at this stretch and the teams they've played, it's been some very physical, very talented teams, and the Grizzlies have not been able to step up against those teams at all.
We're a long way removed from 2 weeks ago today.
Yeah.
We're 1-0 and really a spectacular opening night. That's my top story. Yesterday, in maybe one of the worst bad days in Grizzlies history, on and off the floor, practically the teacher's pet, the mascot of the team, TA, grandfather, Tony Allen, in jail in Arkansas on drug possession charges after getting one of the great passes in the history of American jurisprudence on that insurance fraud case. He paid it all back. Mm-hmm. And when people want to talk about 2 tiers of justice, if he hadn't been able to pay it back, like the rest of us, you would be in jail for that kind of fraud. He got that break. Okay, welcome back. Everybody forgive and forget. And then while you're on probation, you have that happen. He's in a lot of trouble. And then on the floor, the Jaren, Isolo disaster plays out in front of our eyes. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a 3-6 team. This might be the closest to 500 going to be the rest of the year. This is going in a terrible direction, and it has been. And it's why I wanted changes back in April and May, and now look where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Not top story of the day.
Well, I'm going to make this my not top story of the day because I'm just now seeing just about 15-20 minutes ago, Tony Allen has released a statement on what went down yesterday. So I will read the statement from Tony Allen. It says, on November 5th, I was scheduled to participate in an interview. My transportation was provided by the organization I was set to interview with. While being driven to the interview, the vehicle in which I was a passenger was stopped for a traffic violation. During the stop, law enforcement detected the odor of marijuana, which led to the search of the vehicle. The driver and I were both arrested for possession of illegal substances. I want to be very clear, I was not in possession of, nor was I aware of the illegal drugs found in the vehicle that belonged to the driver. I have never used cocaine or methamphetamine, and these substances do not reflect who I am or my values. I understand the optics of this situation are not favorable. However, I have worked diligently throughout my career to honor my commitments, particularly to the youth I mentor and to the community I serve. The incident does not diminish my dedication to that work, and I remain committed to being a positive force and leader. I am cooperating fully with the legal process, and I am confident the facts will speak for themselves. I ask for patience and understanding as the matter is resolved. Thank you, Tony Allen. So the grandfather speaks.
He did. And I was told at 15, watch who you get in the car with.
Yeah. Well, and if there's an odor of marijuana, you might want to ask questions.
Yeah.
That's all I got on what I could have done with that.
Okay. No, you mean not top story?
Not top story. Whatever we're at with that this time. Good Lord.
My not top story, the nobody commissioner of the American, he assured us, I think on these airwaves, I'm going to ask Greg, I'm pretty sure I heard Tim Pernetti talking about the non-conference scheduling issue with the American. Well, he either has no power with his basketball coaches or he lied to Greg and Eli. Because here's the conference did you go over any of this?
We have not had time to talk about it now.
Here's some of the non-conference games in the American. Your strength of schedule gets ruined just by being the only strong schedule is Memphis.
Yeah.
The other night, North Texas played New Mexico Highlands, Tulsa against Oklahoma Christian, Rice and Texas San Antonio both playing in a real game. Not don't text in, well, that might have been an exhibition game. It's not. It's a regular season game against Biblical Studies. ECU against Elizabeth City. Rice against East Texas A&M. UAB plays Rhodes.
Yeah.
Our Rhodes.
Yeah. Right down the street.
FAU plays Coastal Georgia. Wichita State, not Mount St. Mary's, not Mount McKinley, but Mount Marty, M-A-R-T-Y. Tulsa plays not the Manhattan Jaspers, but Manhattan Christian. If you lose to any of that, that sabotages at large. You better win the automatic at the postseason tournament. He said that was going to be corrected. I think they defied him, and it's worse.
Yeah, well, I guess if there's any positive from that, all the games that have been played against those teams, they won, unlike Boise State, who lost to Hawaii Pacific.
They did.
And there were real questions. Brett, there were people, you talk about media and fans. There were fans going at media members for Boise State fans, saying that was an exhibition game for Boise State. It didn't count for them because they were playing a Division II school. No, that game counts for Boise State.
It's the very rare quad 5 loss.
That's right. Yes. I think when they get the sheet, they see the loss, but it can't fall into any of the quads because there's only 4 quads.
In '89, Michigan won the national championship, losing to Alaska Anchorage in a game before playing in the Great Alaskan Shootout. You go back in the Michigan record book, you can't even find that they played that game.
Really?
But they did. Last night, way to go UTSA, 97-30 over Biblical Studies. No truth to the rumor that on the sideline they were all reading Colossians.
Well, how about we got to give a round of applause to Biblical Studies because they played 3 games in 3 days against Division I opponents, so they're really getting after it. Now, they're not performing very well, but they're certainly getting after it. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to our first break, and when we return, we're talking college football. Pat Smith from Jocks down in Birmingham. He joins us next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Hi, friends. It's Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers. The seasons have changed, and fall is my favorite time of the year. Fall means that Christmas is right around the corner, and we all start preparing for that most wonderful time of the year. All families have their own traditions, and they bring so much joy. And a part of that joy comes in giving gifts to those we love. For over 5 decades, Russell Brothers Jewelers has been the source of many of the most beautiful gifts ladies in Memphis have ever seen. Gifts that are cherished and frequently handed down from one generation to the next. Gentlemen, as you think about a gift for your special lady this Christmas or any time, I hope you will think about Russell Brothers Jewelers. Beauty, value, quality, and service are our hallmarks at Russell Brothers. This Christmas, come see us at Russell Brothers. We will help make you the best St. Nick ever. Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun, 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 560 AM and 98.5 FM, your Mid-South sports station. Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. We got some police activities. Got traffic slow and go over here now on 40 eastbound, right at Austin B Highway there in Jackson. Again, slow go with this police activity. And traffic's on the increase even more, trying to get south of town. 55 headed down through DeSoto County. Hey, give the gift of clean this holiday season. Save up to 40% off Zips Car Wash gift cards. Check them out online for a location near you, zipscarwash.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you on this Thursday afternoon. We got to talk some college football. Pat Smith from Jocks down in Birmingham joins us now. Pat, it feels like a weekly occurrence now that every single time we have you on, we're talking about a new coach in the SEC being fired. This one is even more important with you because it's right there in your backyard. Hugh Freeze out at Auburn. We've been talking about this situation for you for the last couple of weeks, and you've pretty much said it's coming. Who knows when it comes, but it's going to happen. Well, it officially happened Sunday. What did you make of that decision, and where does Auburn go from here?
Always a pleasure to be on in Memphis with you guys and talk some ball. Basically, what had happened is like I'd been kind of telegraphing the last couple of weeks. I mean, I'd been told by people down at Auburn that it was a matter of when it was going to happen, not if. And so it finally came to a head. I mean, listen, what happened Saturday night, I know a lot of the people in your audience probably was not watching, but it was an ugly game because it was Kentucky and Auburn, two very, pathetic offenses. It was like a pillow fight in a phone booth. It was bad, really bad. And so basically what happened is at the end of the third quarter, Auburn does a really good job with in-stadium entertainment. They had this big light show between the third and fourth quarter. And then all of a sudden, everybody left. I mean, they weren't sticking around to try to get Auburn to win the game. It was like, you know what? We've seen enough. We've seen this story play out this year. And so if you're John Cohen, the athletics director, and you're all the big wigs that pay a lot of money for this football team and donors, and you look around the stadium and it's half empty on a Saturday night at Jordan-Hare Stadium, you got a bigger problem. So at that point in time, I think the university and the people that make the decisions, they said, enough's enough here. We're not winning football games. The fans are leaving. We've got to get this thing back, righted in the right direction. And so they made the call on Sunday to go ahead and move forward with something else. And in regards to where they go now, guys, obviously John Summerall is going to be a wanted commodity. I think LSU is in the market for him as well. But I think guys like him or DJ Durkin, who is obviously the defense coordinator for Auburn, who's the interim for the next few games, those two guys are at the top of the list as of right now. But as we all know with these coaching changes, it's going to change, and we've got about a month left before anything really significant happens.
But you don't think anything really super big like Bob Stoops out of retirement or Urban Meyer out of retirement?
No, I don't. I think what Auburn's going to do is we all know that Auburn's going to be in a competition, although I think that Auburn is literally going to be fishing in a different pond than, say, Florida or maybe even LSU. I think there'll be a little bit of cross-pollination with LSU, but I don't see them. You know, the Hugh Freeze flirtation happened years ago, and Hugh's been trying to get that job for a very long time, and they finally gave him the job, albeit all the problems that he had in Oxford, getting the school on probation, the problems that he had off the field. You know, they took a chance. They didn't pay him a lot of money, and they rolled the dice for 3 years, and it came out snake eyes. It just did not work. So I don't think Auburn is going to be in that category of big game hunting. I could be wrong because, listen, guys, we never know until an agent gets on the phone, and let's just say you're talking to Agent A about his candidate A, and then that guy's off the board, but then that agent says, well, you know what, I also represent candidate B, C, D, and F, and then all of a sudden it becomes a little bit more intriguing. So you hate to kind of box it off and say that Auburn's not going to go a certain direction, because I think Auburn is open to a big game name, but unfortunately, I think they've gotten burnt in the past with guys that thought were upcomers. They just need a football coach. They need a guy that can be a CEO of the football program.
All right, let's go through the 4 openings. Let's go, and I'll rank them in what I think's the best order of jobs: LSU, Florida, Auburn, Arkansas. Give me one name for each place that you think could be it.
All right, I'm gonna go crazy here. I'm going to go Marcus Freeman at LSU. I'm going to go Eli Drinkwitz at Florida. I'll go John Sumrall at Auburn, and I'm going to go Alex Golish at Arkansas.
I think all 4 of those places would do absolute handstands and crush a press conference for those 4.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Because Auburn people... Listen, I think right now, Auburn folks, I could speak for Auburn, obviously, better than I can the others, but I could just tell you right now that John Sumrall, being a Huntsville guy, played at Kentucky, coached at Troy, that's who they're salivating over. Now, if something happens and Sumrall ends up, let's say, at LSU, if that were to happen, I don't think Auburn people, based on the way the defense has played the last 2 years, obviously I know DJ Durkin's got something that, you know, pretty big situation that took place at his time at Maryland. But based on the people that I've talked to at Auburn, that's not even on anybody's radar screen. Whether it should be or not, that goes without saying. It's just not being talked about. They see an Auburn football team of the next 4 games in which they go out there and they have a pulse offensively and they play hard like they have been defensively. I would not be shocked at all if DJ Durkin isn't the number 1 candidate. So I think that's what they're looking at right now. And again, it's all subject to change. They could come out and look like crap this weekend against Vanderbilt, and all of a sudden this conversation we're having is pretty much a waste of time.
And there's always one that remembers, longtime listeners, if somebody pop up and say, hey, Brett, I can remember, yes, there was a time I was for DJ Durkin being hired at Ole Miss when he was at Maryland before the incident that I know he was 100% cleared in Jordan McNair's death. Jordan McNair's parents would come to games in Oxford after losing their son when DJ Durkin was on the staff. So I'm not running from that then or from him now.
Well, and I can also tell you, and a lot of people may not know this, this is a little bit of a footnote, but you know the last person that Nick Saban had a conversation and an interview with before he decided to go into that meeting room and decide to retire? It was DJ Durkin. DJ Durkin was going to be the defensive coordinator at Alabama that next season. I mean, Saban was having meetings because T-Rob Robinson had already left to go to Georgia to work with Kirby. And so he literally had DJ Durkin in Tuscaloosa meeting in his office because the people I was talking to leading up to that, you know, because there was always every year these rumors about if Nick Saban was going to step down or retire. And you know, I'd talked to a couple people and they had told me, they said, no, he's in there interviewing staff members for next year. I mean, he's full steam ahead. There's a team meeting this afternoon. And DJ Durkin, a little footnote, he was in the meeting with Nick Saban. He was going to be the DC. And then, of course, all heck broke loose that afternoon about 3:50 when he decided to tell the team he was stepping down.
I know you guys had Matt Moscona, friend of our show, friend of ours. Y'all had him on today, and I know yesterday I heard him on Ryan Fowler's show in Tuscaloosa. He mentioned Kelvin Shepard in the NFL now as an assistant coach and the real possibility of retaining Frank Wilson.
Yeah, I could say this because obviously when Frank was at UTSA, he didn't have the very best of times at UTSA, and I know Matt even today was telling us that, who's to say that if Frank doesn't go on a run here at the end, upsetting Alabama and Tuscaloosa and doing what they could do at the end of the season, Frank could be a legitimate candidate. I have a hard time believing that because we all agree that LSU is the best job that's on the board right now. And I don't know, guys, I just can't see those LSU folks. I don't think the governor is going to be okay with Frank Wilson as opposed to getting the likes of some of the big games, some of the big names that we hear in college football.
Pat, sometimes in politics, when you hear the name of maybe a flawed candidate, people will crack, I'll pay their filing fee. They'd love for it to be that. The other 15 teams in the league would pass a hat for the next head coach to be Kelvin Shepard or Frank Wilson.
There's no doubt. There's no question. And it's just fascinating because, listen, the governor says that they're not going to pay the kind of money or to have the kind of deal that they had, with Brian Kelly. Okay, well, I'm sure that doesn't sit well with Trace Armstrong or Jimmy Sexton, who represent the majority of these college football coaches. Would they have the guts to go hire a Tulane head coach? Because just like in the state of Alabama years ago, unless you had some type of DNA under Bear Bryant or played at Alabama, Alabama would not consider you. It came down to Mike Dubose and Woody McCorvey many years ago before Nick Saban ended up taking the job in the 2000s. That's just the way it was at Alabama. It's almost like the same thing at LSU where they just can't bring themselves. They couldn't bring themselves to hire Billy Napier a few years back when he was the hottest name in college football, so he ends up going to Florida. And I just don't see them going and hiring John Summerall. They may, but it's just there's that block there in which they just feel like, we just can't. We're the flagship university. We can't go down and hire somebody like John Summerall. Well, I'm telling you, John Summerall is a good football coach, and I think a lot of other teams around this conference will be lined up for John Summerall's services if LSU passes on him.
Talking to Pat Smith, he joins us every single Thursday from Jocks down in Birmingham to talk some college football. Looking back at some of the games this past weekend, Vanderbilt, Texas was the one everyone was looking forward to, and Texas came out, looked, best quarter maybe all season that they have played, 17 points in that first quarter. But then Vanderbilt, towards the end of the game, they put up 21 in the fourth quarter, almost doing enough to come back and win that game. What did you make of that matchup last Saturday?
Well, I'll tell you what, you're absolutely right. Texas looked like a completely different Texas team, and then the fourth quarter reminded us why none of us should have Texas on one of our top lines of our ballot for the CFP. That was almost one of the biggest train wreck disasters I've seen in quite some time, that fourth quarter. Just if those two Vandy players literally had not basically bumped over each other as they were rolling for the football on that onside kick, we may be talking about Steve Sarkisian going to the NFL. It's just one of those crazy situations in this conference this year. Every single game is going to go down to the wire, it seems. I was impressed with the way Vandy came off the canvas. It will be fascinating to watch them this weekend against Auburn because Auburn is going to be playing with some emotion, not because, they're upset because Hugh Freeze got fired, because not one single player has gone on social media saying, hey, we love you, coach. We're going to miss you. That needs to tell you everything you need to know about what was going on at Auburn. So my point being, they're going to play for Durkin, and Vandy is going to have their hands full. But I've just continued to be impressed with Diego Pavia, especially what he did last week when it looked like that they were left for dead. And they came back. He made some good plays. Yeah, he got a stupid 15-yard penalty. It didn't end up costing him. He's going to do crap like that. But at the end of the day, I really feel like this Vandy team is a good football team, and they're coached well. I think one thing is for sure, if Vandy can get past a very dangerous Auburn team, I think things are going to set up pretty nicely for that matchup coming up towards the end of the season against Tennessee.
It really will. The big matchup, or one of the big matchups this week, top 25 matchup between Texas A&M and Missouri, but Bo Perbula will be out for Missouri. Right now, Texas A&M on the road, a 6.5-point favorite. Do you think Texas A&M gets the win here on the road?
I do. I think they get the win. You know, I saw a stat where, and I know that Mizzou's played a lot of Sisters of the Poor, not a lot of SEC games in the stat I'm about to give you, but I think they're 16-1 in their last 17 home games. Their only loss coming against Alabama this year. I think it's going to be a tough game for Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M, because they're so solid of a team, I think Elko's done just an incredible job. I like them sneaking out of Como with the win, but I definitely think that Mizzou is going to have a little bit for Texas A&M. I think this is going to be a fourth quarter game.
Real quick before we let you go, we haven't had a lot of time to ask you about the first college football playoff ranking reveal. Speaking of Texas A&M, there were some people that thought Texas A&M should have been number 1 in the poll. Your just overall thoughts on the first reveal on Tuesday night?
Well, I think it's telling all of us that the ACC is basically on life support, because based on the way that they rank their teams, they're going to be a one-bid league. Yep. And if you're Jim Phillips and the rest of those folks on the Eastern Seaboard, they got to be absolutely popping Rolaids right now, because they got to be completely beside themselves on the fact that Clemson has self-destructed. Florida State is not the team they look like in Week 1 against Alabama. Miami is pulling what Miami typically does. So, yeah, to me, the big story was the ACC. They're going to be in trouble. Only one team.
Pat, please, on this show, with any reference of Jim Phillips, please say Jim Phillips, Ph.D.
I am so sorry. You know, you did give me that memo at the beginning of the season, Brett, and I apologize that I did not fulfill.
Because he demands it on the lower third Chiron, doesn't he?
Oh, my goodness. There's no doubt about it. Can you imagine all these clowns that would not take the deal that Greg Sankey was trying to give them with the college football playoff, and now they're sitting there and they're going to be lucky to get one team? Isn't that something?
Good enough for
That's crazy.
And I can only hope. I can only hope for Greg going forward, whether it's 14 or 16, we finally get to at-larges. Nothing but it. 14 at-larges or 16 at-larges.
Yeah, and the other thing about the CFP that told me is that there could be a situation. Now, think about this. You could have a situation where the 11th or 12th ranked team in the rankings that more than likely is going to be 2 SEC teams are going to get bumped for a group of 5 team or perhaps an ACC team just because they won the conference championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's going to be fun to see how much changes from the first one to the last one in December. But, Pat, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you again next Thursday.
Thanks, boys. Have a good weekend.
Thank you very much, Pat. Now, Brian, I want to be clear.
Okay.
We all entered into this construct with the 5 conference champions and one being from the group of 5, eyes wide open. We agreed to that.
We did.
So we're playing by that.
We are.
I'm fine with it this way. I'm talking about going forward, especially at 16, even for the best of those available teams. If you're not in that top 16, we're not into participation trophies.
Sure.
We're into meritocracy.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think if you're going to go to 16,
but this deal we agreed to it, so we got to play by it.
Yes.
And you got to live with it.
And I'm completely fine with this deal.
And I am too.
But yeah, I think if you go to 16, I think you at least have to take a look at changing the format and go, because like you said, you've said it so many times, Brett, and you've said it with the top 12 of if you just go 1 through 12, most years there's a pretty good chance that group of 5 team will be there. If you go 16, there's an even better chance that group of 5 team is going to be in that top 16.
And if you're not, you played your way out.
That's right. Yeah, so I have no issue with that at all. We need to get to another break. When we return, we'll talk a little more about the Grizzlies, that 124-109 loss last night against the Rockets, and kind of everything going on with this team right now. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about everything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com. Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home and office. Protect babies, pets, new homes, old homes, employees, friends, loved ones, and you. Just call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 for the Memphis Mold Inspector.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporting luxury. Test drive one at Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City.
Tiger Nation, the 2025-26 Memphis basketball season is almost here. Your Tigers tip off at FedEx Forum Saturday, November 8th as they welcome San Francisco to start another exciting year of Tiger basketball. Don't miss a minute of the action and secure your season tickets now to catch every dunk, every three, and every moment all season long. Flexible ticket packages are available at GoTigersGo.com/tickets or by calling the Memphis ticket office at 901-678-2331. Go Tigers Go!
You know, every year I encourage people to make Thanksgiving easier by having Central Barbecue do all the cooking.
So you're going to do something different this year?
God, no. Central Barbecue is the perfect choice to make your holidays less labor-intensive.
No effort to do something original then?
None. Why would I? You could slave over a hot stove for hours on end to make some fantasy of a meal for friends and family, or just call or go online and let Central Barbecue do all the slaving for you.
That's the holiday spirit.
It sure is. When a holiday is all about eating and then lying around watching college football, then you simply can't beat the ease and comfort of leaving it all to Central Barbecue.
And that's the pioneering spirit.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. I said we're going to talk some Grizzlies, and we are. I'm not a liar. We are going to talk Grizzlies. But before we do that, we got some Tiger football tickets to give away. A massive game tomorrow night against Tulane. Brett, you talked about it earlier. It is the biggest game in Tiger football history because of what is on the line moving forward. We saw them in the bracket on Tuesday as that Group of 5 representative. To stay in that bracket, you got to win tomorrow night. So we've got tickets. Let's give away a pair of tickets, 2 tickets to tomorrow night's game against Tulane. We will go second caller to the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line, 901-360-8255. Second caller, you're going to the game tomorrow night. And as always, thank you so much to our friends over at Sissy's Log Cabin for hooking us up with those Tiger football tickets.
Want those tickets.
Good. And we've got, I don't want to say this, we got more, so stay tuned. Because we will be giving away, if you don't win this one, we do have some more tickets we'll be giving away. But really excited about tomorrow.
And the bracket reveal this. It's how damaging the UAB loss was to that. Mm-hmm. You can still get there. You have to bat 1,000.
Mm-hmm. Now, Brett, let me ask you this. Because you know how I am. Did you watch Tuesday night?
I did.
Okay. You know how I am with those type of programming. I watched. And I didn't have the volume on. And so I figured, with Tigers being in the AP poll, Tigers being in the coaches poll, I figured they would be in the college football playoff poll. And so I'm watching.
We're going to be the same way.
Oh.
I see 25 and I go, oh, good. Tigers are 24, 23. Uh-huh. I see 24. I go, oh, I know they're 23. Mm-hmm. And then 22. 21.
And then when it got to about 21-20, I go, there's no way they're higher than that. And then I think Brett McMurphy tweeted out and was like, there's no Group 5 team. So I was like, oh, okay, they're not in there. But yeah, I was surprised.
You win at UAB.
Oh my gosh.
AP, you're around 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Think of the panache of that. Mm-hmm. Think of the impressions and the free marketing of that. I think it would have translated to about 20 or 21.
Yeah. I would say somewhere around
there.
Maybe even a little higher.
You can
but
still be
sure,
there.
Sure. Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, look.
There's even a chance now of both teams in that American Championship game being 2-loss conference teams.
Yeah.
I think it's why tonight we're for UTSA, aren't we? I don't know. Help me.
I really don't know, Brett, because I've been talking to people about this. Okay, so let's say South Florida loses tonight. Who would be the next team of like filling that slot for the championship game?
Navy.
Would it be Navy?
Right.
Okay.
So
if they went out.
So the Tigers take care of Navy.
Okay.
They knock Navy
that
out.
would knock Navy out. So it would be North Texas, right?
North Texas would be in there. It's pretty crowded.
I don't know if I want to play in North Texas. They sling
and
the
then
ball.
following that would be Tulane.
Sure.
And
then you'd have Tulane in there. Yeah.
Friday decides. Tomorrow night decides.
I mean, I guess it's going to be tough. Whoever you play, I mean, you're probably going to get a pretty good team. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind.
All right, I'm getting around to my point. Are we sure the American gets that spot?
No. Atlanta, I think you brought it up yesterday with me and Darian. We're not talking about, but San Diego State's out there just kind of hanging around. JMU's another one. You know, they're just kind of
we are kind of rooting for Hawaii this weekend.
Well, you're always rooting for Hawaii.
We're always go
strong
Bows.
word. We's a
go
strong,
Bows.
Yeah, go Bows. I guess. What is that? Is that their hand sign? The little
hang loose, man.
Hang loose. All right, I love it. Yeah, no, we are. We're all in on Hawaii.
Let's see what James Madison what they have left.
Yeah, what do they got?
At Marshall this week.
I haven't really been paying attention to Marshall this year. I'll be
4-4 Marshall.
Okay.
Next week, home against App State. 4-4 App State.
Okay.
Then the next week, home against Washington State.
Wow.
Narrowly lost at Oxford. Narrowly lost at Charlottesville, but lost.
Yeah.
Then at Coastal, there's another loss.
Oh, there's another loss somewhere in
so
there.
don't sweat them, even for somebody at potentially 2. San Diego State.
They
has a really rough road
and
ahead.
Boise left.
Hawaii, then Boise, and I think it's UNLV. No, they already played them.
Okay, but they at least have Boise State left on the schedule.
Am I reduced to pulling for Boise?
Yeah, you might be.
Wyoming. No, that's not right. San Diego State, they have left Hawaii this weekend, home against Boise, home against San Jose State, at New Mexico. There's another loss in there for them.
Yeah, but you're pulling for
this
Boise.
weekend.
That's right. Yeah, Hawaii. Yeah, that's gonna be a late one. We're gonna be up late watching.
Oh, you know I will
watching the Bows.
Tigers still could get in the playoffs with 2 losses.
They could.
Friday night.
Look, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Like let's
Make it
take
easy.
care of business.
That's right.
I don't want to be sweating at the end of at the end of the season on decision day. But we'll talk some Grizzlies later during what's trending, obviously with some Tiger talk there. But we need to go ahead and get to another break. And when we return, we're talking the NBA. Keith Smith from Spot Track and the Front Office Show. He joins us next.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
If wedding bells are in your future, you need an unforgettable engagement ring from a jeweler you can trust. And that's been James Gaddis Jewelers for over 60 years. With a huge selection and the best prices, James Gaddis is a master jeweler and diamondologist. Beautiful jewelry from James Gaddis is always the right choice. Choose from rings to earrings, necklaces to bracelets, and gemstones to watches. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar, online at GaddisJewelers.com and Instagram at Gaddis Jewelers. Say I do at James Gaddis Jewelers.
Listen up, Rebel fans. Your next winning drive starts at Landers Ford in Collierville. Their game plan is simple. Find you the most savings possible. Make a trade, lower your payments, or let them buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from them. That's how you keep moving the chains. Just like the Grove on game day. Fans all across the Mid-South keep coming back to the #1 Ford dealership in Greater Memphis. See them today in Collierville or online at LandersFordMemphis.com. When you own a Landers Ford, you get the support of a certified service tech with the Landers Ford Remote Service Experience Program. They pick it up, drop it off, or fix it on the spot, so you're never left watching from the sidelines. To finish the drive, the iconic Landers Easy Pass always brings more for your trade and the biggest discounts to put you in victory formation. And now, straight from the 1977 Ole Miss football team that took down #1 ranked Notre Dame, the final snap of the day from Landers Ford President Don Kitchens.
If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2024 Total New Vehicle Retail Sales Report in Memphis Market.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Memphis football is back in action Friday, November 7th, when the Tigers take on the Tulane Green Wave in our Salute to Service game. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock, and Tiger Nation, wear black. The first 2,500 fans will score a Memphis Tiger camo trucker hat thanks to Mid-South Pulmonary. Join us as we honor and celebrate all military and first responders. Be all in. Get your tickets now at gotigersgo.com/tickets.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM, your Mid-South sports station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. A little bit more volume trying to get down through South Memphis right now on the interstate. Here's we check it out live on 55 at State Line Road. 240, not too bad at the moment now. It has gotten a little bit heavier as we check it out over here on 240 east from Mill Branch, all the way out to 385 as you get onto Bill Morris Parkway going outbound. So far, so good. Weimer's Jewelry, your diamond engagement ring headquarters. Stop by and see them this holiday season at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios, we are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
And she says, I wish that I could be like the cool kids, 'cause all the cool kids, they seem to
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian and Brett with you as we start our second hour on this Thursday afternoon. We got to talk the NBA. We do it at this time every Thursday afternoon with Keith Smith.
Time to talk NBA with Keith Smith from Spot Rack and the Front Office Show, and on Twitter X at Keith Smith NBA. Here's Keith Smith talking basketball with Bryant and Brett.
Keith Smith joins us now to talk the NBA from Spot Track and the Front Office Show. Keith, thanks so much for joining us. I'm pretty sure you know where we're going to start the conversation this afternoon. It has been the talking point around town since Friday. Ja Morant, Tomas Isolo, this Grizzlies team. Before we get to, I guess, everything that's going on the court, what have you made of these last couple of days since what took place Friday night after the game?
Yeah, I mean, not great, right? Not where you want to be. Obviously, anytime your franchise guy is signaling anything like any kind of unhappiness, it is not good. So I think we're just in a spot where for Memphis, for Ja Morant, everybody's just going to kind of figure out how we're going to put these pieces back together here. I think this is a guy and a team who have been together for a very long time, and we'll see, if they can make things work. And every once in a while, you kind of come around to, all right, things sometimes they run their course, and there's no putting that genie back in the bottle, and maybe it is time to move on. But it doesn't seem like anybody's going there just yet.
No, I don't think it's even been asked. Keith, you tell me, at what point do you think it would be fair for someone post-game standing in front of his locker to ask in a nice, polite manner, not combative at all? You should not be combative with them, and if they get combative with you, you can't. You just simply cannot retaliate. But to ask Ja in a measured way, Ja, do you want to be traded?
It's funny. If we were talking 5 years or so ago, I would have said that question is completely fair game. The challenge is now, if players answer that honestly, they can get fined and can get in trouble because it can be construed by the league as a open trade request, and that's not something the NBA wants. So I know a lot of us have gone through a lot of things where it's like, boy, you really want to ask, and there are a lot of people who are a lot more skilled than I am that could kind of finesse their way into getting that answer. But you got to be careful because you don't want to be in a spot where, hey, I'm putting you right here, put it on the line, and the next thing you know, John Moran and his reps or anybody are, they're losing some money because that's, also not our job in the media is to cost anybody any coin.
Great answer.
So you got to be really careful with that. But I think if you remove that part of it, I think we're at the point where it is fair to say, hey, is this where you still want to be?
Okay, if we got to that crucible and he indeed is being dealt, what does he give what do the Grizzlies get in return?
Well, that's where you got to be kind of staunch as a franchise, from ownership to the front office to the coaching staff, quite frankly, to a guy like Jaren Jackson Jr., who's committed there long term on a contract. You have to be, all right, what are we doing? Where are we going? Are we going to rebuild? Are we going to try to move John Morant in a deal where it's get back win now pieces that can kind of help us move forward? Is it going to be something akin to the Desmond Bain trade where it's, all right, we're going to get back a guy who's a helpful player and a veteran like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, but we're also going to get some draft picks and try to kind of almost split it down the middle of, or we're resetting and we're getting these nice future assets, but we're not rebuilding. We're not, blowing things up. But there's a question to be asked of, if you trade a guy like John Morant, who's really been kind of your franchise guy, are you saying, all right, you know what, it's time to blow it up? And that's what they're going to have to really figure out and decide. But you have to be committed from, like I said, from ownership on down, that whatever direction you go in, you can't have waffling. Because if you have any kind of, I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that, then it's time to make broad sweeping changes, because that's where that means to me that, all right, nobody here is on the same page.
Mm-hmm. So on the court, what are you seeing with this Grizzlies team now? They're now on a losing streak, and it's been pretty ugly at times for this team. A lot of people talking about Islo's offense, Islo's substitution patterns. What are you seeing from this Grizzlies team on the court?
Yeah, and it's a little hard to separate, right, the on the court and the off the court stuff, because it's one does impact the other, obviously. Exactly. But I think, for the Grizzlies, I think one of the things that we're seeing is, there is some struggle now. This is now Islo's team. They're running things the way he wants to run things. And I think we're kind of in a spot where we're in year 3 of 3 consecutive years of we're going to do things differently. They did things one way under Taylor Jenkins for a long time. Then they changed up the offense last year. Now they're kind of changing things again. That can be really tough on guys. Mm-hmm. They also haven't been healthy. I mean, when you don't have a lot of your key guys, it's really hard. That's where I'm not going to beat him up too much on his rotations, because none of this is what he thought his rotations would be when he was mapping it out after the team was built over the summertime. You're just in a spot where, all right, we're going to have to make the best of it. But it's tough. But I mean, everybody goes through these things, and you got to go. You just got to win. Like that's. I know that's oversimplifying it in a major way, but that's all anybody really cares about. At the end of the day, it's everybody's going to be like, and other teams have injuries too, and they're not falling apart, and they're out there playing hard and winning games, and that's something the Grizzlies are going to have to figure out for themselves.
How damaged do you think Isolo is with the job circumstances?
Yeah, it's tough because the NBA is a players' league, and it's a star player league, even more so. So that part is a little tough. But he can get them going in a direction where it is, hey, we're doing well, and we're starting to win some games and play pretty good basketball. Then that'll all be forgiven, and no one will really care. We've seen coaches go through it with star guys and come out on the other side and be okay. So I think that is something that exists out there in the world that he can figure out. So we'll see, kind of how that all comes together here. But yeah, I think it's definitely tough. And then when you have, the things like John Morant's back, but then they're talking about how like there's just no space to work in and all that. Well, some of that is the offense, but some of that is just guys aren't making shots. That's another bigger challenge, I think, than the offense itself. I think just the personnel is not playing at the level that they are expected to play at.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the bright spots, we've been talking a lot of negative, Cedric Howard's looked good.
Oh, he's been great. Yeah, he's been really fun. And there's things you can see is with him is, he came in as not when I say this, I don't mean he's old, but he came in as a little bit of an older prospect.
Sure.
But you can see that he's just a little more seasoned, and he's doing some stuff as a rookie that we aren't really used to seeing. I clipped a play and put it on my social media timeline where he used a screen, used a rescreen, and used it to get himself going to his left hand for a pull-up jump shot as a right-handed jump shooter. That's high-level stuff, high-level patience from a young player, and he's more than holding up defensively. I think Memphis has to feel pretty good about him. Is kind of no matter where everything else goes, we got a keeper in him.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks in, it looks like maybe here and league-wide, not only some bad teams, some particularly bad teams.
Yeah, I think this is a loaded draft at the top with guys like Darren Peterson and Cam Boozer and A.J. DeBonsa, and then you got guys like Mikel Brown and Nate Ament. Those guys these are big-time players there, and I think teams that know, like, hey, even if we're not going to be bad enough to get the first pick, or even if we're going to be bad, but, who knows the way the lottery will go. We saw that last year, obviously, with the Mavs and the Spurs jumping, but we still want to be in position to be in that top 4, 5, 6, because, again, super, deep draft class. The draft group that's in the league right now, Cooper Flagg and company, looks really good, and I think everybody should be very excited about those guys. This next class coming in is really, really exciting too, and it's way deeper than the one that is just joining the league this year. So that's going to be something that will be really interesting to monitor. But I think some teams are very much leaning into, all right, you know what? We're bad, and it's just going to be how it is. And then you have teams like in the Western Conference, like New Orleans and Dallas, didn't really intend to be bad. It's just going to be how it's kind of played out. But I think what's been good, at least with Dallas, is they've remained committed to, all right, we're gonna run things through Cooper Flagg. They've made some moves to make life a little easier on him, but we're not going to move off that just because things aren't going our way and chasing a bunch of wins. Because I think teams know, hey, if we land in the lottery and we land with a high pick, that's not the end of the world this year.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned Cooper Flagg and this Mavericks team. They'll be inside FedEx Forum tomorrow night to take on the Grizzlies. They're 2-6. Last night they lost to the New Orleans Pelicans. I believe that's their third loss in a row now. And it came, they had an opportunity to tie it, send it into overtime. Cooper Flagg misses about a free throw line jumper with the opportunity to send it into overtime. What are you seeing with this Mavericks team right now and kind of the struggles they're having early this season?
Yeah, and they quietly a few games ago moved Max Christie into the starting lineup because Cooper Flagg was being asked as a rookie, someone who should just be starting his first year of college. He was asked to defend opposing point guards and run the offense. And that's a lot for a guy who isn't a point guard. Like, they were putting a lot on his plate. They moved Max Christie into the starting lineup and said, you're going to defend the point guards. That took a little bit of pressure off Flagg. Last night, they moved Klay Thompson to the bench. They moved D'Angelo Russell in, which was basically, hey, we're going to put another ball handler on the floor, and that, again, took a little bit off him. And I think he played one of his best all-around games that we've seen. So it's just going to take a little bit of time for him. And I've seen some people thought this guy was supposed to be all-world, and we've got, B.J. Edgecombe and Dylan Harper and Cedric Howard and all these other guys are playing great. Why is he no good? And it's like, we're 2 weeks into the season. Calm down. And we're 2 weeks into him not playing his position. They've had a bunch of injuries in their front court to main guys, a couple starters with Anthony Davis and Derek Lively out. So, it's just kind of messy for them. The funny thing was, I don't know, did you see his quote about losing Cooper Flagg? So they asked him about, how the adjustment and losing games, and he goes, yeah, this is the most I've lost since, ever. And they're 2-6 in his last 4 years of organized basketball. So 3 years of high school. Remember, he reclassified and graduated a year early. And then his 1 year at Duke, he lost a total of 8 games. He lost 4 games in 3 years of high school, and then 4 games at Duke. So, yeah, it's somebody who's not used to losing very much. But here's the thing that should get Mavs fans and just general basketball fans excited. He is mad, and he hates it. And that is actually a good thing.
Well, you saw it last night when he missed that shot. He dropped down to the ground. Derek Queen, who was his teammate at Montverde, had to go over and pick him up and try to kind of like, hey, man, it's all right. But, you could tell after missing that shot, he was not happy at all.
No, absolutely. And I know Brent remembers this with the Magic Johnson. And I think it was his first game.
Opening night against the Clippers.
Yeah, Kareem makes the skyhook to win it. Magic jumps up and down, and Kareem's like, hey, settle down. We have 81 more of these to go.
Kareem,
that's a little bit of,
he was embarrassed by it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was like, come on, calm down, Brooke. Like you can't, it's great, but we got 81 more to play.
Thought he was in Salt Lake City beating Bird in the national semifinals.
Yeah, right.
And Kareem was very sheepish and true. And they said, look, Rook, we got 81 more cracks at this.
Yeah, exactly.
Last night, 22 and 22 for Jalen Duren. All right, Keith, I got way ahead of myself in the year here. And it started slow for Jalen Duren here. In fact, he had 1 point in a tough, really ugly loss down at Ole Miss when he was here with the Tigers, but he got better all year long. That team got better. It really underachieved, but it got better as the year went on. And I made the comment, and I mean sandblasted for it. I made the comparison of a Jalen Duren to Kevin Garnett, and I got killed for it. I'm staying with it, and I have stayed with it.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you that far, but but he's good. He's a really good player, and what I think is great is he has proven to be an outstanding fit with Cade Cunningham because he's a good rebounder. He's really improving as a passer, which is really a lot of fun. You saw some of that coming along last year, and now this year he is really making plays. So that part I'm really excited about there. So that part is good. And then he is a great rebounder. He's really solid around the rim. So yeah, I think all around Pistons fans should be really excited. Now the one thing that you got to be a little nervous about is they didn't get him signed to an extension, and they're not anything they thought of. Well, maybe we'll get him a little cheaper when we try to re-sign him. Yeah, good luck on that. That's not coming out that way.
Yeah, not anything will be cheaper. Tell me how and where did Isaiah Stewart establish himself as the baddest man in the league that nobody messes with?
Yeah, he is, something else with that. And I think it's just from him being out there. He plays so hard. He really took on a couple years ago when the Pistons were really struggling. He was like, hey, this is not what we're going to be. Like even if we aren't winning games, we're going to play really hard, and we're going to, try to work and do all those things. And now, we're seeing it, really over the last year or so, really kind of come all together for him, where he is playing, really, really well, as are the Pistons. So that is, something else with him. But yeah, he is somebody that's pretty highly mentioned on the list of guys you don't really want to mess around with in the league.
No, it wouldn't be any of that like back locker room the guy wants to circle back around to get to him, you're making a terrible mistake.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you go after LeBron James and you're like, I don't care who it is, like that a little bit sends a little bit of that message, when he, did that. Now, he did it in a way we don't really want to see, where it was like, I'm going to go get him and throwing guys out of his way and everything else. But, yeah, I mean, he is in a position where it's like he wanted to set a tone, and they missed him in that loss. They believe, if you talk to the folks in Detroit, they very much believe if they had Isaiah Stewart and if they had been able to get even just a little bit out of Jaden Ivey, they would have beat the Knicks, and they would have, maybe moved on and made a real playoff run.
Wow. Last night I was watching the Pacers game, and I was noticing what Jarris Walker was doing. He had a nice game. This is a guy that, through his first 2 years in the NBA, it's kind of been, here and there on playing time. You go back to last year, averaged about 15 minutes per game. But now, because of all the injuries in Indiana, he's averaging nearly 31 minutes per game with the Pacers right now. He's averaging over 11 points. What are you seeing from Jarris Walker right now?
Yeah, he's been an interesting player for his first couple years, but now we're really in a spot where, like you said, he's getting that opportunity to play. And this is what I always tell people. When your team is down, especially if you're like, man, I thought we were going to be okay even without, Tyrese Halliburton, and here we are. You got to take joy in the little things. You have to take joy in the fact that, all right, Jarris Walker's getting to play. And he's actually showing you some stuff on both offense and defense that, quite frankly, if they had Tyrese Halliburton and Andrew Nembhard and everybody else, and they're running up and down and doing their thing, he's probably not playing very much. And that's where, you find joy in the little things. You find joy in the improvement, from the young guys, game to game. And the fun thing is what you look at, you'll be like, oh, man, a year ago he would have run into a charge there, or he would have thrown that ball away, or he wouldn't have made that defensive rotation. And now you're like, all right, he is starting to see those things and do the good stuff that's going to lead him into being a rotation player. And you kind of look at it as, all right, all these guys are getting this experience, and Tyrese Halliburton will be back next year. We all know that. When he gets back, all right, we take off around.
Last thing for you, the news came out earlier today that LeBron James is getting closer to returning to 5-on-5. How close do you think we are to seeing LeBron James back out there? And what do you make of the Lakers, even without him and even with a lot of other injuries on that roster, sitting 7-2 right now?
Yeah, I mean, they have really had a great start because, look, as you said, Luka missed time. Austin Reeves missed time. They had a game where none of Luka, LeBron, and Reeves played, and they won that game. And that's, one of those games, especially in the West, they try to remind people, especially the Lakers, with their, let's just say, fairly large and vociferous fan base. I try to remind them, hey, when you lose a game that you think you shouldn't have lost in January or February, remember this one that you won when everybody was out, because it all kind of balances. I like to go off of Greg Popovich is the one I attributed to. He's the one I heard say it, where he says, 8 games a year, you can't do anything wrong. You're going to win no matter what you do. 8 games a year, you can't do anything right. You're going to lose no matter what you do. Your season is made in the games in the middle. It's how you play in all those games. And that's what we're kind of seeing with the Lakers, getting those wins and kind of banking those wins when you weren't supposed to is just so huge. And and then it's good for, again, confidence of those guys that, hey, I can do some stuff here now. And then when you get back out there, you're seeing, Luka was like, hey, all right, Jake LaRavia, you did some stuff when I didn't play. Now I feel a little bit better about passing you the ball and getting you set up and those kind of things. It's a pretty good team, and they're only going to get better, I imagine, with LeBron back, because I've seen a lot of, is LeBron going to throw him off and all that, and I tend to think, it's LeBron James. I think he'll be okay with welcoming him back in the lineup.
We can make room for him.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Keith, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend. We'll do it again next Thursday.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Keith. Enjoy these games. Keith Smith, the best.
Oh,
we really love having him with us. He was on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line, and at the Sissy's Log Cabin at FedEx Forum, the official jeweler for the Grizzlies, and at FedEx Forum with the floor seat lounge and that great location at 4542 Poplar. Now, look, at FedEx Forum, you can see those display cases, but it's not like the 9,000 square foot store in Laurelwood with expanded lines for Rolex, Cartier, diamonds, and more. Since 1970, with all the locations across the Mid-South, Sissy's, they offer a selection of diamonds, estate jewelry, and fine gifts. Unsurpassed value exceptional service, expansive selection, and extraordinary shopping experience, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry. And with that segue, life being too short.
Yeah.
The horrible news. We want to take the voices low and respectful today for Marshawn Kneeland on Monday Night Football, last Monday night, falling on the block punt, playing football for the Dallas Cowboys, and then whatever happened, taking his own life. It is tragic for his teammates, for his friends, loved ones. I can't imagine it. It's so foreign to me. I've said so many times that I've had sad days. I've had loss, but it's never been that kind of day.
Yeah.
And I have awakened to that issue a lot more and want to even more, but it's still so foreign for me for somebody that takes their own life.
Yeah, it's just really sad. And, I'm 25, he's 24. Just the fact that just thinking of how much more life he had to live. And, I mean, whatever obviously transpired before that, I think you could put some things together that said it might not have been good. But the fact that you had to take your own life and make that decision. It's nothing is ever that bad or that big to take your own life. I mean, life is just such a thing that we should cherish, and it's just sad when you see things like this. And Brett, you said it, and I'm right there with you. I've never had those type of issues, and we're very lucky that we haven't, because
I've had my issues.
Sure, but not that issue.
Not that.
And the people that have
Thank
it,
you, Lord.
it's very real, and it's very hard to understand those issues that people have.
I saw Laura Rutledge on the NFL Afternoon Show in a truly moving, and I love her passionate plea to the suicide hotlines, to those 24-hour counselors. Absolutely. If you think you need it, or you see anybody in your life you think needs it, reach out.
Yeah, and it's something the work that they do with those hotlines is really remarkable, and I don't think they get nearly enough credit. So really, really sad news over in the NFL. But let's go ahead and get to another break. When we return, we're going to talk some Tiger basketball. Season gets started on Saturday. We'll do our wins and our losses. That comes your way next on Sports Time.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
At Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical, we've proudly served families across the Mid-South since 1958. Still family owned and operated, we're built on tradition, trust, and old-fashioned service you can count on. And now to celebrate 68 years of service, we're offering a heating tune-up for just $68. Keep your home safe, efficient, and ready for the cold months ahead. Looking to upgrade? Right now, get up to $2,000 in instant carrier cool cash rebates, plus 60 months no interest financing on select carrier systems. That means comfort and savings today and peace of mind for years to come. But that's not all. Upgrade today and take advantage of $500 off a tankless water heater or a whole home generator installation. Even more ways to protect your home and your family. Don't wait. These special offers won't last. Call 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com today and turn to the experts with Choates and let our family serve your family.
Black Friday savings are here at the Home Depot, which means it's time to add new cordless power to your collection. Right now, when you buy a select battery kit from one of our top brands like Ryobi or Milwaukee, you'll get a select tool from that same brand for free. Click into one of our best deals of the season and stock up on tools for all your upcoming projects. Get Black Friday savings happening now at the Home Depot. Limit 1 per transaction. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in-store and online.
Maria's Cantina in South Haven is not your average Tex-Mex joint because they're serving up Mexican with a twist. Maria's Scratch Kitchen is the most creative and diverse menu around. Beyond the traditional huge quesadillas, chimichangas, and fajitas, Maria serves up hand-rolled Latin egg rolls, Cajun and Creole items like catfish, gumbo, and boudin balls, as well as the best sandwiches and 8-ounce burgers in town. Wash it all down with a house margarita for only $5.50 and happy hour every day till 6. MariasCantina.com, 6717 Airways, Mexican with a twist. This traffic report brought to you by Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road, where great food meets the big game.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. More volume in the Midtown area in a couple of spots here in the last few minutes. 240 South at South Parkway. Also there at I-40 at Chelsea. It's moving at the moment, I-40 eastbound. So we keep an eye on it here. All that traffic coming off Sam Cooper right now, getting back on the interstate. Eastbound 40 still moving out past Germantown Parkway. Weimer's Jewelry, your full-service family-owned jewelry store right here in the Memphis area. The holiday season, it's here, so shop local. You'll save money at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, the season is here. College basketball is back. It's been back since Monday. A lot of games that have taken place already, but the Tigers
What's the best thing you've seen so far?
Coach Pete Monday night against Florida was incredible.
Yeah, he was.
Arizona. Yeah, that was a guy that I first learned about him during the FIBA U20 World Cup back in the summer and just fell in love with his game. And so to see him, not only because, I mean, there were a lot of good freshman results that night, but it was like, Darren Peterson for Kansas against Green Bay or Duke. No, not even Duke, because Duke played Texas. But the fact that he did that against Florida, the defending national champions, was really impressive.
We're ready for the Tigers to finally get going.
I'm ready for the Tigers to get things started.
I thought
on
they
Saturday.
needed this practice, but I'm ready for 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Won't be able to. Is it 1 or 2 o'clock Saturday?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock Saturday. Won't be able to watch. I'll be busy, but we'll be trying to keep up with it. Well, that's the opener. And who wants to go first with the WRL there? W there?
I guess I'll start. I'll just get to it. I have them 21-10.
Okay.
On the season
I have 21-10.
Okay, cool. I have them 6-7 in non-conference, and I have them 15-3 in conference play.
All right, I'm 7-6 non,
okay,
and 14-4.
So we're very, very similar, very similar on that.
Landon.
I have them doing extremely well in conference. I don't have all my numbers tallied up, but I have them with only 2 losses in their conference going this year.
That'd be 16-2.
Well, I only have them with 3 losses. So I mean, that's not too far off on where I'm at.
Lost Saturday?
No, I have a win Saturday.
Okay. I have a win as well.
I'm not sold on it. I'll be completely honest. I think San Francisco has a really nice team this year. I'll go through my non-conference. I have a win against San Francisco, just being at home, having the energy there. I think they can get the win. Loss at Ole Miss, a win against UNLV, a loss in both games in Baja Mar, Purdue, and then whoever they play in the second game.
Exact the same so far.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength. A win against Southern Illinois, a win against New Orleans.
Same so far.
A loss against Baylor.
I've got a win, just kind of that Clemson 2 years ago type win, Ole Miss last year type win.
I was the exact same way. I kind of went through this and I go, Penny Hardaway always wins that big game at home. I just have it against Vanderbilt, so I have them.
But I've got it against Vandy too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you have it in both those games. I have a loss against Baylor, a loss on the road against Louisville, a win against Vanderbilt, a loss at Mississippi State, a win against Alabama State, and then going all the way down to February with their final non-conference game, I have a loss on the road at Utah State.
15-3. Would that win the league?
I think so.
1 seed.
Yeah,
in Birmingham.
I think it would.
What's as low as you can go and win the league in win total? Can you win it 13-5?
I'd say 5 is probably the lowest I would go.
Okay, well I'm 14-4 in conference. My losses at Ole Miss, both of those tournament games, Purdue and whether it's Wake or Texas Tech, at U of L, at Mississippi State, at Wichita State, and then playing Mount Marty comes into play.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
At UAB, at North Texas, and playing New Mexico Highlands comes into play.
Yeah.
They didn't lose to them, but it still doesn't factor in great. at Utah State in February, and at South Florida late in the year.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't go through my conference losses. My conference losses at FAU.
Ooh, they play one of those bad nons too.
They did. They played. No. They actually. Well, they do. They do play one of those bad nons, but they actually had they beat Boston College at home to start the season.
Well,
so
that's good.
A nice win. Not that
they
Boston
play Coastal
College
Georgia.
Anything. Yeah. I knew it was coming.
Not
eventually.
Georgia Tech.
Coastal Georgia.
Somebody plays like Shaw College.
That's right. Yeah.
Charlotte plays Shaw.
Yeah. I've seen Shaw on a couple of schedules. Not in the American, but I've seen him on a
UTSA
couple.
also plays Southwest Christian.
Okay. Well, hey, good. At least UTSA is staying on brand with Southwest Christian and Biblical Studies. They're bringing in all the Christian institutes. So I mean, you gotta respect that, I guess.
Where's Biblical Studies?
It's in Houston.
It is?
It is. Actually, and we'll talk with Jason tomorrow. I was listening, Jason Munns and Jonah Dillon do a Tiger basketball podcast for the Commercial Appeal. I was listening to it this morning, and Jason said that they're in Houston. So the only reason I know that is thanks to, I don't remember, it might have been Jonah that said it. One of them said that.
Do you throw the record books out when Houston Christian plays Biblical Studies?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, just like we have the Big Five.
Or is it Houston Baptist? Or is there a Houston Christian?
There is a Houston Christian. There is also a Houston Baptist, I believe, but they're like a D2 or D3 school, or maybe an NAIA. But it's almost like, Brett, like the Big Five up in Philly. You got the Big Five in Houston with Rice and Biblical Studies and Houston Christian and those type of schools.
Where's the breakthrough for the Tigers non-conference you think is realistic? At Ole Miss, at State, at U of L, where?
Yeah, I mean, I think this little stretch that I think everyone has circled with Baylor, Louisville, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. You know, if you can, like you said, you have a win against Baylor. If you can win that game against Baylor and then win on the road at Louisville, then yeah, I think we're talking about something really cooking.
I do too. Why do we both think a sweep at the MTE?
I mean, because you're probably gonna play Wake Forest in that second game. I just, and one of my buddies continues to rail against me because I told him up and down before the UConn game last year that Memphis wasn't going to beat UConn, and then Memphis beat UConn. But this Purdue team just looks really, really good. Everybody, it feels like a consensus. Everyone has them in the Final Four this year, pretty much. So I think you're going to lose that game, and then you're probably going to get Texas Tech, Wake Forest, and just kind of playing the number one team in the country. After that, you know, I think both Texas Tech and Wake Forest run really good stuff, and so I think you probably lose both those games.
You're 6-7. I'm 7-6. Mm-hmm. Could it get up to 9-4? I think 10-3 is a little daydreaming. How low can it go?
Brett,
I know it can go to 0-13, but that's not going to happen.
Being someone that loves to say he doesn't take much out of exhibitions, whenever I look at the schedule, those exhibition results kind of cloud my mind.
I can't stand those games. And this is what those two have, it's cast a pall over 0-0.
Yeah.
The Tigers are 0-0.
That's right. They are.
But have you ever seen a team meeting at 0-0?
No, Brett, I haven't. Well, it goes back to
aren't team meetings from June
right.
to before the game Saturday.
Yeah. Or if things get really bad, it's later in the season when things have really kind of gone bad. I go back to, I guess, a week ago, more than a week ago, when we talked with David Cobb and we were kind of going into that exhibition game against Arkansas, and I asked him, what do you take away from exhibition games? What do you look at with exhibition games? And he said it's more of an individual type thing. And I think that's kind of how I am. And when I watched those two exhibition games, there wasn't a ton to be excited about when it comes to an individual level.
Now, Penny Hardaway says he didn't have an offense.
Well, and then that's the thing. You add those things in there. Now, you know, what does that really mean? We had Kevin Sweeney on yesterday, and, you know, he brought up a good point that, you know, Penny Hardaway is more of kind of that NBA offense where it's more concepts and different things like that, not necessarily of a, hey, we're going to dribble it up and get into our set and we're throwing up, hey, we're running fist and that sort of thing. And so he kind of said, I'm sure he implemented some things throughout the offseason. Now it's just kind of hammering out. But those quotes from yesterday all around did not speak very highly about the confidence of
They
this
read
team.
awfully.
They did. They really did.
It was just because a few weeks ago he was talking about the most talented, second most talented roster he had ever assembled. Now it's like he doesn't know any of those guys.
Now, Brett, I do hate to kind of put two and two together, but and I agree with him. The team that he referenced of being the most talented team, I agree I would say the most talented team Penny Hardaway would have.
With my guy Kevin Garnett.
That's right. What did that team win?
Nothing.
I mean, that team was the team that fell apart at the end of the season. I guess this the first team that fell apart at the end of the season. And everything you've heard since then, those guys didn't like each other at all. So I mean, you might have all the talent in the world, and it just doesn't come together.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I think we'll learn a lot here in a couple days on Saturday about what it looks like, because I do think I was not really familiar with the San Francisco roster, and I looked it up earlier today, and I mean they've got some fun players on their team. They've got some. I mean, I think they could be a pretty good team this year.
Wichita State, how good do you think they'll be in this league?
But I actually watched the entire Wichita State game Tuesday night against UNC Asheville.
That's a special place in college basketball heaven.
You say that. I had Wichita State minus 6.5.
It's still even more special.
I guess so. First off, before I even mention Wichita State, UNC Asheville changed their logo. I don't know if you've seen it. It's horrible. It's atrocious. But this Wichita State team lost a lot from last year, and so it very much looked like a work in progress. There were some nice things, but I really don't know how good they'll be.
Well, it comes at you fast. Saturday, the opener, next Tuesday night in Oxford.
That's right, which is
against the Sweet 16 team.
That's crazy to look at that turnaround.
Penny references second weekend Sweet 16 like it's the great expeditionary force to the top of K2. Mm-hmm. Beard did it in year 2.
Yeah, that's right. No, you're exactly right about that. And Brad, I guess I have to thank you because I've been telling a couple of my buddies over the last week, hey man, 8:00 tip-off, we should drive down there and go to the game. Fellas, it is a phenomenal arena down there in Oxford. I mean, I do like that arena down
Y'all
there
should.
in Oxford.
Are you going to?
I think we
Good.
will. I think we will drive down there.
Got tickets?
We're going to work on that.
I know some people.
I know you know some people, so I might be hitting you up, but that'll be fun, and that will you'll get a good look at them on Saturday. You'll really get a good look at them in a week against Ole Miss.
All right, Final Four teams, and this is really hard because it almost feels certain 2 of my 4, maybe 3 will be in a bracket together, in a regional together. I'm going to go with Purdue to finally win their national championship.
I like that.
Over Houston. And more heartbreak for Kelvin Sampson and Phi Slama Jama. They won't be in the same bracket.
Right.
My other 2, Texas Tech.
Okay.
Feels like they would be in there with Houston.
Yeah,
it probably
does.
as the 2 seed.
Yeah.
And my 4th, and I'm serious, John Calipari's Razorbacks.
I like that.
And they could be the 3 seed.
And they absolutely could be.
In that
they could be. I like that.
Regional.
I like that a lot. Arkansas, I mean, I watched a little bit of their first game, certainly saw them here in the exhibition game. The fact, and it should not be overlooked, what they brought back from last year's team, those were not just role players that are coming into their own. Those were key pieces last year that are just getting older, and then to bring in a couple of All-Americans.
Two big ones, Carter Knox and Billy Richmond.
Oh, really, really huge. And as much as, I don't think...
2 guys that can get in that, y'all clear out, get the heck out of the way offense.
And, I mean, even a guy like Trevon Brazile, the fact that he is... it feels like he's been playing college basketball forever, but he's a guy that will give you some really good minutes. So I don't hate that at all. My Final Four, I'm also gonna go with Purdue and Houston. I think this is the time Kelvin Sampson gets it done. He wins it, but he does not win it over Purdue. Purdue makes the Final Four. They do not get to that national championship game. I think that Houston will beat... I'm going to go with St. John's, and it's a little bit of a, after seeing what they did in their first game, putting up 108 points, that's not something...
That's 3.
That's 3. You know who the 4th is. Duke Blue Devils. Brett, I'm sold. I'm doing the Boozer twins.
Okay.
Cam Boozer, he looks the part, so those are my 4.
So you took your favorite team, non-Tigers, And I took mine with Arkansas, right? You can say that to me.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yes. We're both of our favorite non-Tiger teams, even though that's not close to the truth.
Nor for me.
One team that ranks way higher than Duke, even though I'm a Dookie for whatever reason. They gave Mississippi State a game last night in North Alabama. Oh, man, I was glued to my TV. Tony Pujol and them boys, they were getting it done last night in Starkville.
What about Bethune-Cookman carrying Auburn to overtime?
Yeah, that was crazy. And Arterio Morris, who at one point was committed to Memphis.
I watched all of overtime.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And the building was right. It wasn't sleepy opening night.
It wasn't. It was. They were going wild. For
the toughest building right now to play in this. It sure was for Bruceboro.
It's awesome. Yeah, it is. It is really, really good. And how about this? I didn't even catch this when it happened. I heard somebody else point this out after the game. Did you hear what Stephen Pearl said in the press conference? He said, he's talking about it, and he's like, we got to play better, obviously. And he said, I know Auburn fans are tired of hearing to be patient. A shot there at Hugh Freeze. I mean,
whoa.
But hey, asking for a little bit of patience.
That's fun.
So that was some really good stuff.
So John Cohen never called Hugh Freeze back.
I don't. You'd think that he would call him to tell him he's fired, or hey, you need to come into the office. I don't think it was the phone call that Hugh really wanted.
We called 12 and John hung up on us.
We unfortunately did that, and what made it even better around the Hugh Freeze thing is everyone tracking his golf tee time because he had to cancel his tee time to go and get fired over at Auburn, unfortunately. But we need to get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Fun, exciting, friendly, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs. 24 taps for all your beers, including $3 domestic and $5 craft pints on Mondays. Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 happy hour. Music bingo Tuesdays. Daily specials and online ordering. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Highway 70. Check Facebook for daily specials and weekend music at the Owner's Box.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Kevin Kugler here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. Ryan Harris and I will get Week 10 started from Denver when the Broncos host the Raiders. Sean Payton's squad is 7-2, including 6 straight wins, and lead the AFC West. Now they host Pete Carroll and a Las Vegas team hoping to break a 2-game losing trend. Join us for the Raiders at the Broncos on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shields Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 or in Mississippi.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
When you hear the sound of coming.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, for my big number of the day, I hope you and everybody else knows where I'm going with this, because I'm excited. I don't know about anybody else. I'm sure I'm the only one in Memphis that is excited. My big number today is 8. And that is how many teams will be in the Arena League next year with the addition of the Memphis team.
Roll through them. I'll see if they were in there in 95.
Well, Brett, I don't know the names. Thankfully, Jeff Brightwell, he was at the press conference earlier today. And he posted, they had like a handout with all of the kind of information you need to know for this team. So the 2025 teams, there were 6 teams in 2025. They're going to have 8 in 2026. I don't have the team names, but I can tell you the cities they're in. So we'll have one in Memphis. I don't know where the other city will be. There's a team in Hot Springs.
Hot Springs, Arkansas?
Hot Springs, Arkansas.
They were not in the league.
No. Eau Claire, Wisconsin?
Yeah, I think it's Eau Claire.
Whatever.
I'm not sure.
Whatever.
They were not.
Duluth, Minnesota?
They were not.
Springfield, Missouri?
They were not.
Waterloo, Iowa?
Well, Des Moines being the Iowa Barnstormers,
okay. And then Kansas City?
They were not.
So, yeah. All right.
Oh,
I'm excited. I mean, they're playing at the Memphis Sports and Event Center. I don't know what that's going to look like.
That Wisconsin is spelled EAU CLARE.
Yeah.
What is that pronunciation?
I'm sure we can find it on the internet.
Yeah.
Up there in the north, whatever. I don't care much about those towns up there. But this was also handed out, or at least there. It's your team. So you name it. Don't just cheer for your new football team. Name it. Beginning on November 6th and running through November 20th, the good people of the Memphis Arena can submit their suggestions on what the team name should be. Get creative. Think about the theme of the team, logo, colors. All of your input is welcome, and we believe that there is no bad suggestions. We can hardly wait to see our community come up for a name.
Pronounced Eau Claire.
Eau Claire.
And somebody that would know, because on his mother's side of the family, lot of Wisconsin heritage. So I know he's right. Eau Claire.
Eau Claire. I know they have a Division III basketball team that's pretty good.
I went Eclair like Danish.
Yeah. I went Eau Claire like I don't even know, but
like the University of Clare.
Yeah, Eau Claire. U of Claire. Do you have any suggestions for the team name?
Pharaohs.
I think they should go with the Pharaohs. That'd be fun.
I forgot any gear left.
Well, but here's the problem, Brett. I don't think they should do that. I've changed my mind on that because the UFL dropped the ball so much on the showboats and the color scheme and all of that and the logo. So I don't want them to ruin another historical football team name from Memphis. So I think we should do something new.
Speaking of football, my big number of the day is 156, 156. Today celebrates the 156th birthday of college football. Remember the big celebration for 150 a few years ago?
Yeah.
November 6th, 1869, in a game of...
Wait a minute, Brett. You're telling me that it's been 6 years since that 150 celebration?
Well, Brian, I remember 100
Holy cow.
really well.
Holy
and all
cow.
the 100 decals.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And just 6 years
that
ago.
That was the news I did not want to hear today, Brett, so thank you for that.
Rutgers and Princeton, final score did not hit the over. 6-4.
All right.
I think I have located the name for the Memphis Arena football team.
What do you mean? They haven't named it yet. I just said that. I mean, what are you talking about?
Well, I'm looking up for the new arena football team coming in 2026.
That's right.
Memphis Phantoms.
No. I'm out now. You're calling them the Phantoms. I'm out. What are we saying? The Claire. What are we pronouncing it?
Eau Claire.
Eau Claire. Eau Claire is French for clear water.
Is that right?
How about that? That's what Texter just said.
Okay.
So
Okay,
I'll
good.
believe him. I don't.
Thank you, Texter. I'm going to go with it. I got faith.
I can't.
I mean, I went to the chocolate.
You did.
Cream-filled
dessert. So where are you seeing that it's the Phantom?
I just Googled what Memphis Arena football is going to be called in 2026.
I hope that's not
and
true.
this is the resounding answer.
I hope that's not true.
That doesn't do much.
I'm going to put in my suggestion. Do you have a suggestion other than the Phantom?
We're
going to be the arena show. I've decided we are going to be the
in the way that we anchor down,
show
We are. Why?
for the arena.
Please
We'll
don't
get
make
you-
me. I've done that before.
I'm excited about it.
Guess where I was?
You're right.
Right here.
You're right.
Doing that.
So, any suggestion? I don't know.
Opening night, about 13,000 at the Pyramid. I don't think there's going to be 13,000. No. I don't think you can get that.
No. That's why I'm like, my buddy I played in a rec league in the summer at the Memphis Sports and Event Center basketball. My buddy plays in one now. I'm going to have to go to his next game and try to like visualize how it's going to work.
Went to the playoffs year one, and the playoffs against the Tampa Bay Storm, guess where they were held?
Either here or Tampa, I would suppose.
At the Trop.
Oh, really?
Where the Rays play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
Ron Higgins years later covered a Tiger Bowl game there and cracked to people, I've been here before for arena football playoffs.
All right, so now if the Memphis team that might be the Phantom, might be something else, makes the championship game, have it in FedEx Forum. I mean, I think you got to, right?
I would think it would be a supply-demand issue.
Might be.
Us three will go.
Well,
no.
Two of us will go.
I've been to my last arena football game in my life.
I get the excitement of
I've been to my last Memphis Pro anything football league game.
I don't know if I've said this, but I am familiar with the league that this is for arena football, and it is not number 1 or number 2, maybe not even number 3 in terms of arena football league. So it's I don't know what is in store for that. Hot Springs, yeah.
North Little Rock had a arena football 2 team.
Really?
Yeah. Drew nothing.
Now, Arena Football 2, I remember like seeing it, but I don't remember exactly what Arena Football 2 was.
We had it here
That's right.
in DeSoto County.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay, so yeah. But hey, our next guest, he was at the press conference today, so maybe we can get more information about him from him.
Have local and late breaking.
I think Brett's ready to wrap up the conversations on the arena football.
I didn't check out on you, did I?
No, not at all. But let's go ahead and wrap up this hour. When we return, we're talking Tiger football, Tiger basketball. Greg Gaston, he joins us next.
Tiger Nation, Memphis basketball is back at FedEx Forum. The 2025-26 season tips off Saturday, November 8th at 2 o'clock as your Tigers take on San Francisco. Come see Coach Penny Hardaway's new squad hit the court and join us as we honor our heroes on Military Appreciation Day. Be one of the first fans through the door and score a first player card from the 2025-26 commemorative deck. It's time to stand up, Memphis. Get your tickets now at GoTigersGo.com. That's GoTigersGo.com.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar based. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to baste or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you're thinking of selling your home, think of me, Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf, because I've got the tools. No, I can't fix anything around the house. Heck, I never even finished my shoe shine kit in high school shop. And if you play golf with me, you'll see why I'm known as the worst golfer in town. And they call me Mr. 3-Putt or Sheldon the Shank. But I have all the tools to get your home sold. I have a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in what you make and when. And I'm part of a nationwide relocation network that provides many more transferred buyers coming into our market. Always interview 2 to 3 brokers. Make sure you include me, the bald, bad golfer who people say when you want the job done, call Sheldon. Reach me at 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com. That's right, my website says it all. MemphisRelocate.com, or anytime call me at 483-0546.
This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Sports 56 Traffic.
Good afternoon. Really starting to build on 240 eastbound from Middle Branch all the way out to 385 as you get onto Billmore Parkway. Expect that to get a little bit heavier probably in the next 15-20 minutes. Midtown traffic pretty much on schedule up here right now. I-40 up by Chelsea. Hey, give the gift of clean this holiday season. Save up to 40% off on Zips Car Wash gift cards. Check out location near you by logging on to zipscarwash.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Memphis's original sports station. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour on this Thursday afternoon.
And I would beg people, I know there's a lot of goofy, fake Twitter sites.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all really think Ross Dellinger has 31 followers?
Whoa, what did fake Ross Dellinger tweet out?
Ryan Silverfield, team meeting tonight. He's taking the Arkansas job. Garbage. Come on, people. Just look a little bit.
Yeah, just do a little digging. Wow.
1 + 1 still equals 2.
Dang, I didn't see the fake Dellinger. Usually I see those.
Go to the followers.
Why I don't know where I'm going to find it. I'm probably not going to be able to find fake Ross Dellinger.
Yeah, he's there, and it's.
I'll look for it.
And it's so phony it stands out like a $3 bill.
I'm gonna have to try to find it. But we do have to talk Tigers, and we do that every single Thursday afternoon with our friend Greg Gaston.
From the Tigers sideline, it's Tigers Talk with Memphis broadcasting legend Greg Gaston. Hear Greg weekday mornings on Sports 56 Mornings, along with Eli Savoy from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. On Twitter X at Greg_Gaston. Here's Greg with Bryant and Brett.
So yeah, I have now found the fake Ross Dellinger.
With 31
on
followers.
It. Yes, with 31 followers on it. Yeah, 32 now. How about that? So going up or going down one way or the other. But we got to talk Tigers. We do it every week with Greg Gaston. Before we get into it with Greg Gaston, we gave away some Tiger football tickets earlier. Perfect time to give away some more Tiger tickets. How about a 4-pack? For tomorrow night's game against Tulane. 4 tickets to tomorrow night's game, the big one against Tulane. We will do, how about third caller to the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line?
Light them up.
901-360-8255. If you want to
wide
go
open.
to the Tiger football game tomorrow night, call in and Landon will all get all that information. 901-360-8255. All right, Greg, it's a big one
And
tomorrow
promise
night.
not to heckle Greg from the stands.
Yes, no, you can't do that. You gotta be nice to Greg. But Greg, it's a big one tomorrow night, and we know that last Friday, pretty easy against Rice, actually really easy against Rice, but it did come with a scare. Brendan Lewis got a little banged up in that game. He left in the fourth quarter. It feels like he's going to be good to go, but Ryan Silverfield, as he usually does with these injuries and these players, kind of saying it's up in the air. What is your feel, or at least what can you tell us about Brendan Lewis going into tomorrow night's game?
Hey, guys, what's going on? I can't believe you're not leading with asking me why Ryan is leaving to go to Arkansas with the big
Shame
news
on
tonight.
Me, honestly.
I mean, come on. Gosh, Ross and his 32 followers?
Yeah.
I can't believe we're not
The mighty
starting with that.
following with Dellinger with only 31 followers.
He's lost a lot. I don't know why. But, yeah, look, last Friday, first of all, that was mission accomplished.
Yep.
They went in and they had a good game plan. They weren't overlooking. They know what happened with
It woke
UAB.
Rice up to spend money on that complex.
That's right.
What's that?
It woke Rice up. They're committing hundreds of millions to building like Football City now around that complex, and it needs
I
it
didn't
done.
know that. I had no idea. It's kind of weird because you have the old stadium, which you once was the host of, as you know, Brett, of the Super, and probably Brian, of the Super Bowl. But also they have some new elements as well. They got a nice football facility that's right there. There's also some new suites and things like that. So it's kind of a mixture of the old and the new. But that's the first I'm hearing about a financial commitment to the school. Look, they have a lot of powerful people that back them. A lot of oil businesses. ExxonMobil, I know, is a big part also of. In fact, they helped actually produce this synthetic field turf that they use. They don't call it field turf. They have a special name.
It is.
So they're involved in that. But yeah, look, it was, like I said, mission accomplished. They went in. They weren't overlooking anybody, took care of business. Defensively, they really did a great job in stymieing that triple option offense. It's not as good as what they'll face when they face Navy, but it's still a capable offense, and they went in and just they really took them out of their game. They couldn't move the ball. 3 downs and a punt, and Memphis was able to score, and then another 3 downs and a punt, and all of a sudden you look up, it's 21-0. So they took care of business. The scary part, as you alluded to, Bryant, was the Brendan Lewis injury. We have seen that 3 or 4 times in games this year where he takes a hit and goes out and has been able to come back a couple of times. 2 times he hasn't been able to come back. He was in a lot of agony. He was right there in front of me. Basically, he was on the ground right in front of me, and I could hear him screaming, and I didn't think it was good at that time, but there's no speculation. And then all of a sudden you hear Tim Cramsey said that he was practicing, had a good practice on Monday. The hope is that he'll be able to go. Obviously, they don't want 75%. They want 100%, and if they don't get that, they got a couple of guys they like that are capable in the young quarterbacks, and Arrington Maiden and A.J. Hill. But, again, the hope is that he'll continue, Brendan Lewis, to do what he's been doing, and that's produce for this Tigers team.
I have said tomorrow night's the biggest game in Tiger football history. What do you think?
Nah, I don't know. It's really, really big, but
well, if you win, it makes the next week on the road at ECU biggest road game ever. If you lose, Greg, I don't know that 2 will get them in, but as we look at it, even another loss in conference, you might still can get in the championship game.
Yeah, I mean, Brett, I hear what you're saying, but you still got to get a lot accomplished. To make it to the playoff, you got to win your conference championship game. They played in 19, that championship game. They played in the Cotton Bowl.
The bar can move, though, to the next biggest.
Yeah, look, it's very big. Let's just put it that way. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the biggest. The argument you make is a good argument. It's a fair argument. But I think that there's no question how big this game is. But like you said, they're going to turn around. They're going to play a road game at East Carolina, and that's going to be pivotal. And then they're going to play a Thanksgiving night game against Navy. That will be pivotal if they keep winning. And then it'll be
a fun year, and this has been a fun year, even with the I still can't. I started texting in the game, and I thought, no, I know Greg's busy. He doesn't want to hear from me during the game. How in the world did they lose at UAB?
I know. It's the mystery of sports. We have these every.
It's the biggest upset of the year in FBS against FBS.
I know, isn't it crazy? I have no answer. I don't know how they. Even if you go, all right, they overlooked.
I'm going to go full Hugh Freeze. The Tigers would beat them 9 out of 10 times.
9.5 out of 10 times. Yeah. No, but I think even if you're overlooking, and there's certainly a degree of overlooking. There's certainly a degree when you find out 3 hours before the game that their starting quarterback isn't going. That you're going to. I'm not saying the coaches. The coaches got you prepared, but it's easy to be impressionable young men and just think we can cruise through this. And you should be able to wake up once it's not going your way. You should be able to wake up from that coma. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. They won the toss. They took the ball. They went right down the field, and they had all that energy that was absent with Trent Dilfer. All of a sudden, they found it with Alex Mortensen in his first game as the interim head coach. And, we don't like to talk too much about that one, but you're right, Brett. It was a huge upset. How it happened is beyond me. Maybe not something that can be explained.
But still can save the season in the first bracket, though not in the top 25. We know they would be in by being the champion. And Bryant and I went through San Diego State and
James Madison,
the remainder of their schedule. Somebody gets them. It's still even 2 losses versus 2 losses in American Championship game. Greg, that's still going to be the bracket team, the winner of that game.
I think so. I think this team undoubtedly is coming from the American. The question is, will it be Memphis? And you can't ask for more. You cannot ask to be in this position because even if they beat UAB, they would have been ranked, which makes no difference. You still want to be the highest, one of the top 5, right? The 5 highest ranked conference champions. So you figure the 4 from the Power, and then the 1, and that's right now, and I think it will be throughout the rest of the season, the American. I don't think there's any question, but you put yourself in a position, you had the schedule going in this year, it was advantageous. Not that they're playing a weak schedule in the American Conference by any stretch of the imagination. They're playing a tough schedule, but the fact that you play these teams at home gives you that advantage. You're not going to win all the time at home, but hopefully that is a difference maker for you. So, yes, it's right there. It's in front of them. We've heard that so many times with different teams and different sports that, hey, it's right there in front of you. Just seize the moment. Well, it's not. It's easier said than done to seize the moment. But there's no excuses. You have the control right now. You control your own destiny. You win out, you're going to be in the playoffs.
And Greg, for a lot of circumstances over the last 2 years, really over their 6 years that have paralleled each other, and I'm talking Lane Kiffin and Ryan Silverfield, Memphis and Ole Miss, a lot of the conversation, you could take out Memphis and insert Ole Miss and have that same conversation. And I'm getting to a point. It makes these games every week kind of little Super Bowls because every game matters so much. And it makes for maybe even not that good kind of nervous for the old broadcasters. But how do you feel before every game?
Yeah, there's a little I have nothing to do with it, right? I'm not a coach. I'm not a player.
It's out of my control.
I'm not even a fan. I have no control, but certainly being a part of the broadcast team like you are, you're hoping for the best. You're feeling confident, but there's a little apprehension. There's a little nervousness. No question about it. You tend to start thinking about the negatives, like what can go wrong. Like, oh my God,
what everybody's going to say about both. Knew they couldn't live up to the pressure.
Right, exactly.
If Memphis comes up short or if Ole Miss comes up short, the criticism is going to be epic.
Oh, gosh. I mean, you could say it comes with the territory, but I think it goes to extremes a lot of times with fandom, right, with the craziness of fans. I mean, this has been a great year. You can't argue with 8-1 other than saying that you need to be perfect at 9-0.
Yeah.
But you will be criticized, and Ryan will be criticized if they don't complete the deal.
And for both, you're going to get. And I know this is Tiger football segment. I'm sorry for conflating the two, but they do run parallel. There are a lot of comparisons. For both,
with Ole Miss? Yeah.
For both, if they come up short, there will be a lot of voices saying, if not this year, then when? If they couldn't do it in these last two, they're never doing it.
Right, because you look at the history of the programs, and while there has been certainly success and pockets of success, and you go back to the 60s, certainly Ole Miss had some really good programs, and Memphis has not had the championships that they would certainly have liked, but certainly the run with the bowl games, they're in a different era of Tiger football than they were certainly when I arrived in the mid 90s. But this isn't one of those where, oh, let's say Alabama stumbles one year or Ohio State stumbles one year. Well, they'll get it back the next year, right? So you want to seize the opportunity. And Ole Miss had their chances last year and came up short. This year they're really in a good position, as you know. I don't have to tell anybody. You exactly know what's going on. They're in a great position. Seize the moment. Memphis is in a very good position.
Same one. Just win tomorrow night. Just win tomorrow night.
Yeah, the old Al Davis, right? We bring it up all the time. Just win, baby. And they're feeling really, really confident. This team, I'm telling you, Ryan Silverfield's had some good teams as far as camaraderie and togetherness and being on the same page. I don't think he's had a team like this one. He's had more talented teams, but he's got the combination of the talent. He's got the combination of the athleticism. He has veterans, and he has some young guys that have contributed. But they're all on the same page like nothing before.
No, you are absolutely right about that. We're talking to Greg Gassney. He joins us every single week to talk Tigers. It's brought to you every week by Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis. They have serious vans for serious work at 4430 American Way. They're the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet, new or used? They've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter van headquarters. Give them a call, 901-237-9302, or online at sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road. So tomorrow night against Tulane, what do you think about this Tulane team, and what do you expect to see tomorrow night in that matchup?
I think they're a very good team. I've seen better Tulane teams. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't come in here and win the game, because they certainly can. But their defense has given up some chunks of yards. They've given up some points. They've been in a lot of close battles. They've figured out ways. But last week they turned the ball over at UTSA, and UTSA ran them out of the gym, ran them out of the dome. So that'll be a key. Memphis continues to win the turnover battle. Overall, Tulane doesn't turn it over that much, but they did last week. If you can turn Tulane over a few times, I think you're in really good shape. I think Memphis hopefully will find that running game again. It's been limited over the last few weeks. I think that's because teams have tried to go in and take the Tigers' running game away from them. Easier said than done when you have a quarterback that can run like Lewis, but I'd love to see DeWosier, Sutton Smith get more involved. I think that opens things up for the passing game. I feel really good about this game. Before the season started, probably here on your program, certainly on my program, talked about wins and losses, and I thought that Memphis would lose to South Florida, thought they'd lose to Arkansas. They won both those games. I had them winning Tulane, so I'm not going to change now.
Yeah. Greg, when I say this, of course I mean good, clean, nobody hurt football, but I don't think Retzlaff likes it very rough. I think he kind of just wants to run around like it's flag football. You got to hit him, and you got to hit him hard, but clean.
He's Manziel-like, light. Manziel light. And I say that in the sense that he loves to run, he loves to scamper, he wants to outrun you and get out of harm's way. You're absolutely right. He's not small, but he's not a real big guy, so you certainly don't want to take hits. Last week he threw a couple of ill-advised passes. He was replaced. I think we could see both quarterbacks because they do a lot of gadget stuff. They'll throw both their quarterbacks out there.
Yeah, both played
at the same time. What's that?
Both played at Ole Miss.
Yes. So, and in fact, I think they both played in a lot of games. His name is escaping me, the backup. Do you know Bryant right off the top of your head?
No, I don't have it off the top of my head.
Well, he plays a lot, and he came in and he mopped up, did more than mopping up last week in the UTSA loss. But they've played where they'll throw a quarterback throwback to the other guy on the field, which is the quarter. They'll do really weird and wild things, try to utilize their speed. And so that'll be very important. Memphis, I'll tell you, they have faced a lot of different offenses this year, a lot of tempo in this conference. They face triple option offense now. So I think they're ready for whatever they face. And again, with Tulane and John Sumrall, you could face everything and the kitchen sink.
Brendan Sullivan is the backup I looked at.
Thank you.
Right, yeah.
And he's a big guy.
Yeah.
6'4", 220.
And he came from Iowa?
That's right.
I think that's right.
I think he came from Iowa. So these are guys that are both capable. He was going to be the starter until Retzlaff ended up getting kicked out of BYU, and Sumrall picked him up right before the season.
Yeah, I definitely remember that name from Iowa. Greg, switching gears a little bit, Tiger basketball, they'll open the season Saturday against San Francisco. We've seen the two exhibition games, but yesterday Penny Hardaway had a press conference. Quante Berry spoke at it. The quotes were not very confident from that press conference. What did you make of some of those quotes from Penny Hardaway and Quante Berry?
Yeah, a little worrisome, right?
Yeah.
Hearing what Penny had to say, what Barry and Curtis Gibbons had to say, a players-only meeting before the season even starts. That was very strange. But look, whatever it takes to be on the same page for the games that count. And it starts on Saturday, as you said, against San Francisco. But Penny talking about installing his offense, and he's been concentrating more on defense, although defense certainly wasn't there in the game against Auburn and the second half against Arkansas. There's a ways to go. He's talking about guys that really he's depending on that haven't played as hard as he wants them to play in those games or in practice, and he's getting like more of it from the guys that are a little bit deeper on the bench. And he said he'll start the guys that he thinks is giving max effort. So let's hope that all of them have figured that out. That's a wake-up call when your coach says that. And in these last couple of practices leading up to the game, they'll all be on the same page. But I think right now it is a mystery. Is it a huge mystery? I don't know, but it's a mystery. And we'll find out more on Saturday because San Francisco is a very capable team. Memphis got them last year at the Chase Center, the home of the Warriors in San Francisco. But they got a lot of guys back. They brought in some transfer guys from the portal. I think they meshed really well. They rolled in their opener on Monday. I mean, lack of competition. They played UC Santa Cruz, but they crushed them by nearly 50. So I think this is a team that's looking for a payback, and they wouldn't mind spoiling the Tigers' home opener.
Greg, let's play some blind resume. You ready?
Sure.
I have the Tigers going 7-6 non-conference, 14-4 in conference, 21-10 overall. What does that get you? Tell me where that lands. Does 14-4 win the American?
14-4 will probably get you in the championship game. They'll win the championship game. It'll get you in, but it'll get you a 10 seed.
Well, that's what
You're not going to be looking at a seed like you got.
Right. Go your blind resume.
My blind resume is Memphis overall 21-10, non-con 6-7, conference 15-3.
Yeah.
Non-con 6-7?
6-7.
But 15-3. One difference for us on both. And we did it independent of each other.
Wow. Okay, so you asked me to do a little homework. I don't break it down game by game, but I'll give you a total. I had them 8-5. I'm a little bit more.
That's one.
I'm giving them a little bit more benefit of the doubt. 8-5 in the non-con, and I got them losing 3 in the conference. That's 15-3. But I'm a little skeptical.
Easy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical, guys. I got to be honest with you.
I am
this is just kind of throwing it out there.
And I always have been, and I want to remain that way. I must say to our dear audience, to the listeners, I figured up. I figured more positive than I really believe.
Yeah, and I probably am as well, but I got to see them. I'm calling the game on Saturday, up close and personal. I want to see them play in a regular season game.
And now with these made-up teams and everybody, we're all in. I don't mean this as a negative. We're all in kind of mercenary pickup football and basketball world. These preseason W's and L's are impossible.
Yeah, you're talking about with the Tigers playing that type of schedule?
Anyone.
Well,
because we just don't know these teams anymore.
Well, no, you're absolutely right about that. I thought you meant because the Tigers have to play a very torrid non-conference schedule to have any chance at getting a good seed. But you're right. I mean, rosters change. That's why I'm saying San Francisco's coming in. Basically, I think they have 7 or 8 returning guys.
Yeah, I mean,
and then the rest are from the portal.
I don't know who's starting at North Texas.
No.
I don't know who's starting yet for Memphis. I'm calling the game on Saturday. Penny said that yesterday. We don't know. I think I could pencil in Doug McDaniel. That's the only person I put with Sharpie right now.
Yeah.
So, to your point, Brett, it's well taken. But I also want to say that I will reserve judgment until I watch a couple of games. They got Ole Miss right after San Francisco. And by the time we're talking next Thursday, I think we'll have more of a general understanding of what we're seeing out there. Although it won't be a final puzzle, it will be at least a little hunk that we can look back and go, all right, they're really struggling with shooting. They got nobody to help Doug bring up the ball. They're turnover. They're a turnover team. We can figure that out in a couple of games.
All right, here's my freak out. I promise. On these airwaves, I do solemnly swear. I state your name, Greg. You know what I'm referencing in Animal House.
Animal House.
I state your name. I promise. I do not freak out at any point this year until the Tigers lose a home conference game.
Okay. That's fair enough. Yeah. How about if they lose a home non-conference game to who's on that schedule?
New Orleans.
Edwardsville, Illinois.
Yeah.
Who's at Southern Illinois? Are they on the schedule?
That's right. They're on the schedule.
New Orleans?
Because you're still figuring out a lot of things. I promise I'll do my very best not to.
New Orleans beat TCU the other night.
I know. I knew when I said that, Brian. I knew when I said that. I was like, well, maybe New Orleans
home
would be pretty
conference
good.
game before I go crazy.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should go nuts, but certainly we know that if they go the way of Brian's prediction and 6-7, even winning the conference tournament championship and getting the AQ, or if they got an at-large, I think it would be a lot tougher because you're not getting quality wins in the conference. So you'd have to win, and of course they're favored to win. But you would be a 10 seed.
Yeah,
you would be 9, 10, 11. That's where you would
nowhere,
be.
Man, nowheresville. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, last year, they put themselves in a great position and still didn't work out by losing in the first round
and
of the
Beatles
tournament.
in about a 2.5-minute stretch, Greg.
Incredible.
Brett, how about this one? All is well. All is well, Kevin Bacon,
right.
Animal House.
Right.
Hopefully all will be well on Saturday. Last year they lost the 2 exhibition games and then went out to Maui and looked like world beaters. So let's give Penny at least right now the benefit of the doubt.
At 0-0, let's give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
They're 0-0, and I don't care what was said yesterday. Although again, it gives you pause, right? They're a little bit concerning what the coach and the players said, but I want to see them play, and we will see them play on Saturday, and we'll see where they stand after that first game, and then some other tough games right off the bat, and we'll get a better understanding about how this team
Y'all think I'll
will
live
fare
up
this
to
year.
my promise of not freaking
not
out?
at all.
Okay.
Oh, no, you'll freak out. You'll be texting me. I know that.
Not at all. Well, Greg, I look
Great
at the
stuff,
time and I see it's 5:27. I know Brett's happy. I'm upset. We didn't get to talk about the new arena team coming to Memphis, but I will find you after your show tomorrow to get all of my information out of you about arena football. But as always, thanks so much for joining us. We'll do it again next Thursday.
All right, guys, take care.
Thanks, Greg. Greg Gaston joining us. Brett, I think you intentionally went long on Tiger Talk so that we didn't have any time to talk arena football.
We're going to be the station, though.
Nobody
Or the
cares.
show.
Nobody
The
cares
show.
to hear about
I can't speak for the
arena
station.
football right now. So, no, we're definitely not going to talk
Catch
arena
the
football.
fever next spring.
I'm telling you, well, summer. It's like June to
Summer, yeah,
August.
yeah.
So I think it's going to be middle of the summer when nobody's paying attention. But I'm fired up. We're going to be the arena show for sure. But some big games coming up for the Tigers, football and basketball. Tomorrow night against Tulane, and then Saturday they open the season against San Francisco. Well, we're going to get to a break in a second. Before we do that, let me remind you about our 5 o'clock sponsor. It's Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Jaguar Bluff City has been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984, and their talented team is ready to help you find your next perfect vehicle at unbeatable rates. Swing by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City today and check out the new 2025 models like the 2025 Range Rover Sport, 2025 Range Rover Velar, and the 2025 Defender. Test drive the Range Rover Sport, where luxury meets performance. It's a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility, with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. It's also available as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with $7,500 federal tax credit when leased with approved credit. Take a look at the Range Rover Velar, powered by mild hybrid technology and enhanced with the latest well-being features and fully connected entertainment system. The Range Rover Velar is the ultimate luxury compact crossover. Purchase yours today and get special 4.4% for 72 months financing available with approved credit. Don't forget about the Defender, available in multiple models to fit your needs. The Defender's built for the modern explorer, and Jaguar Bluff City is offering special interest rates for 60 and 72 months on various models. Give them a call, 877-259-6169. Go online to JaguarBluffCity.com, but head out there, test drive these vehicles, 6335 Wheel Cove, just off of Quince for Bluff City Jaguar. Let's get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk about what's trending.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You know, sometimes I wish I had a gun.
Well, I'm armed, but before I bought one, I still went to Top Gun Academy to learn to protect myself without a gun.
How is that possible?
Top Gun's personal protection training. It's perfect if you want to protect yourself without firearms.
I don't know.
And it's perfect if you feel the need to carry a gun for self-defense, because the last thing you really want to do is shoot.
That is scary.
Not at Top Gun. It's very comfortable, and you learn to load, handle, and shoot a handgun safely. Protect yourself. Go to Top Gun Academy. They're at 2770 Witten Road.
Join in the fun for the grand reopening of Kroger Atoka, Wednesday, November 12th with your boy Johnny Radio. We'll be giving away $10 Kroger gift cards to the first 100 customers starting at 8 a.m. And there's more. This newly remodeled Kroger Atoka store now features a Starbucks, Murray's Cheese, and expanded produce, meat, and deli departments. Join in the grand reopening of your Kroger Atoka store, 11630 Highway 51 South, Atoka, Tennessee. We cut the ribbon at 9 a.m. Come check it out. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I'm inviting you over for dinner. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner of scrumptious combinations, fresh salads, homemade soups, or maybe start with an appetizer, like our baked Dungeness crab dip with manchego cheese, lemon, garlic, and French baguette toast. Drift into one of our fresh seafood dishes, like the caramelized sea scallops with curry beurre blanc, black forbidden rice, and Thai mango salad, or our ancho honey glazed salmon with creamy black bean puree, avocado pico de gallo, and jalapeno crema. Maybe you're looking for something cozy and comforting, like our Duroc pork chop with apple brandy demi-glaze and blue cheese bacon mashed potatoes. We have something for everyone. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us. I'd sure love to see you.
Congratulations to Napa Cafe, celebrating 27 years of great food and service for you. Napa Cafe.
Ready to shine, Memphis? Drive clean all month long with unlimited wash plans at Club Car Wash. Stop by any 4 Club locations in Greater Memphis or visit clubcarwash.com today.
Club Car Wash. Join the club.
This traffic report brought to you by Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Minute Hall Road, where great food meets the big game.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Still a little bit of traffic volume over here on 40 eastbound as you come past Sycamore View Road all the way out into Fayette County. Heavy, but moving south of Memphis here on the interstate. 55 southbound. It looks like it's picked up quite a bit down through Hernando, down into DeSoto County. Hey, give the gift of clean this holiday season. Save up to 40% off Zips Car Wash gift cards and wash books. Check them out online for a location near you. ZipsCarWash.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Here comes the hero man. Says he's a people man. Here comes the hero man.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we got a little less than 30 minutes left in today's show. We got to talk about what's trending, and we haven't talked any NFL today. We got Thursday Night Football tonight, the Raiders and the Broncos. You can listen to it right here on Sports 56. We'll have all the action starting at 7 o'clock. And while I tell you that, busy weekend up here at Sports 56. If you want to hear the action, we're going to have it all weekend long. I'll go ahead and tell you, and we'll continue to remind you tomorrow going into the weekend. But Friday night, we'll have Ole Miss basketball as they are taking on Louisiana Monroe, their second game of the season. Saturday, that pregame show starting at 6 p.m. Saturday, we'll have Ole Miss and the Citadel with the pregame show starting at 10 a.m. Sunday, we'll have an NFL triple header featuring Patriots at Buccaneers, Rams at 49ers, and then Sunday Night Football with the Steelers and the Chargers. And then we'll remind you about Monday Night Football, and then we'll have Ole Miss Memphis on Tuesday. So a lot of action coming your way right here on
Fast and
Sports
Furious,
56. Brett, we've gotten to that time of the year where it's just
and Rebs
everywhere.
Tuesday night.
Crazy, Brett. I mean, when I was going through, believe me, and I know we're all the same way. We've known the schedule since it was released. But when I was going through W's and L's, and I was like, whoa, second game of the season at Ole Miss. I mean, it gets real really fast.
Has the time change freaked you out yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Leave
it here in its pitch.
Looking out there. Well, it's more. It's not even that. It's like 5:30 walking over there where there's actually a window and like looking out and being like, oh my god, it's pitch black outside. So
Why
yeah,
do we do this to us ourselves?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it always confuses me on the weekends whenever it rolls around of like, okay, am I getting more sleep? Am I getting less sleep?
And why 2 o'clock in the morning? Why don't we do the time change at noon?
Well, that would really freak people out. I think it's just because, like, I don't know. You don't notice it if it's 2 o'clock.
Saturday.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'd feel weird if I lost an hour or gained an hour.
But why do it at all?
Well, I mean, that's I don't know. They tell me it's agriculture or something. I don't know.
It's not 1880 anymore.
Well, that is true. I do not know. I know you say that you are all behind anybody that wants to not change the time.
It's the only issue I want in a presidential campaign. I go door to door for any party, any red, blue, any label.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave the time at what we just came off of.
Yeah,
I don't want to go back.
No. I'm definitely with you on that, but it's I guess what we have to deal with right now with the time
That's
change.
not much to ask politically, is it?
I don't think so. I mean, it doesn't feel like you're alone.
I'm not worried about foreign aid. I'm not worried about defense build up.
No, and it feels like a lot of people would be on your side with that. I see a lot of people frustrated.
That's an easy campaign to run.
I would think so, and I think you would get a decent.
You'd have my vote, Brett.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you'd have my vote.
We're never changing the time.
No.
That's simple, isn't it?
I mean,
the best campaigns are whatever you can just put on a simple bumper sticker.
That's true.
Don't change the time.
Yeah, something like that. No time change.
Right.
Yeah, a guy can
kind of rolls like no new tape, but they always.
Well, that's true. In the NFL, I mentioned we have that game tonight with Thursday Night Football, but we did have the trade deadline earlier this week on Tuesday, and it sounds like Sauce Gardner will quickly make his Colts debut.
They need him.
They certainly need him, and people have said he hadn't been very good this year. He's battled with some injuries the last couple of years.
And at one time, we were comparing him to Darrell Reeves.
Oh man, I mean, it was Brett. We were talking about it on Tuesday when the trade deadline happened, and it was, fire sale from the Jets with a couple of stars. Again, it was just 3 years ago when we were talking about the Jets being a team that we were all saying deep playoff runs, maybe Super Bowl, and now it feels like another big rebuild.
And look at that AFC East. The Jets, one of sports' biggest jokes.
Oh, yeah.
The Dolphins aren't far behind in playoff utility.
No, not at all. I mean,
it's been a long time since Zonka kicking Warfield.
That is true. But it really is. The gap between the top two teams in that division and the bottom two teams in that division is laughable. I mean, you've got Buffalo and New England at the top. New England 7-2, Buffalo 6-2, and then Miami 2-7 and New York 1-7. That's crazy.
It feels like Vrabel's just waiting for the Josh Allen Bills run to end, and maybe not going to Belichick Brady run, but a good one.
No, it feels like he is really got something going.
Do y'all think the Patriots are a Super Bowl contending team this year?
I don't think this year. I think they need kind of one year to, hey, let's go get that playoff experience. You probably lose, but we're going to build off of that.
But Woody Johnson and the Jets, that's just a joke.
Yeah, I mean, it's been miserable.
At a lot of different positions for a lot of different stars.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You had Sauce Gardner. You had Garrett Wilson. You brought in Aaron Rodgers. Now, Aaron Rodgers, love him, but it really hasn't worked out since Green Bay.
People were picking Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely. Brad, I had him in the Super Bowl. I had him as the fourth best quarterback in Jets history. So, I mean, it was very bright futures. They bring in Quinnen Williams, who's now a Dallas Cowboy. And, I mean, it really felt like they had Hard Knocks there. I mean, it was the sky's the limit.
Gets 2 weeks off, doesn't he? Wasn't he on open date and open date?
I think that's right, yeah. I know the Cowboys are on the open date this weekend. I think you're right. I think the Jets were on it last week.
He ought to be unblockable.
Oh, yeah,
if he's in any kind of shape.
That's right. He's getting well rested going into joining Dallas.
Did you see Walter Nolan for the Cardinals?
Yeah, I did. He looked good.
Looked pretty dominant.
He looked really
First game back after very serious August injury.
Yeah, no, he looked really good. I
will love him forever. I know the reputation, even here at a couple different high schools, here with a lot of Tennessee fans, with everything that happened at Powell in Knoxville, with everything that happened at A&M. But last year at Ole Miss, he was out there every play and did not opt out at bowl time and couldn't get him to come out of the Gator Bowl.
That's true.
Man, you got a lot on the line. You've done it for us.
There's more important things.
We're up 30. Come on out.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't.
Yeah, no. And that was kind of the
I
whole
will
team.
remember him forever doing it. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys
Chris
you say that
Paul.
about. Yeah.
Dart,
absolutely. I mean,
Jordan Watkins.
Dart's out there trying to throw touchdown passes up 30 points.
Yeah, that didn't go over well.
No, it did not. But you got a lot of gamers on that team, and they're so far a lot of those guys looking good at the next level in the NFL. Tonight, this game though, Raiders and Broncos. Broncos have looked good over the last couple weeks, and the Raiders on the other side, they have not really looked very good at all this year. 2-6 on the season, a big spread. Broncos a 9.5-point favorite. You think the Broncos keep rolling tonight?
I do. Right now, they're the 3 seed in the AFC. That would be hosting first weekend right now against 6. The Chargers, they would love that for the weather.
No, absolutely. You take that any day.
Indoor team, California team to outdoors in Denver. You can get all kind of weather at that playoff
That's
game.
true. Yeah, you don't know what to expect.
And the story of Bo Nix.
It's been really, really good. He's been super impressive and just keeps getting better. I always have to tell myself when watching opposing teams against the Dallas Cowboys, like, the Cowboys' defense is so bad that you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. But what the Broncos did against the Cowboys at home a couple weeks ago was one of the more impressive offensive performances I've seen all season.
And Sean Payton just putting that exclamation point on Canton.
And
someday.
when you have that type of coach, things look really good. And for him, it's just kind of filling out the back of that card, getting ready for Cam.
Now, he was getting a lot more in the big jar of Drew Brees clay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brees had played and helped the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
And then free agency with the Saints, famously over the Dolphins passing on him medically, that changed college football history.
Yeah.
With Nick Saban.
That's right. That's exactly right. Wow. Go back.
And Drew Brees way back to not only Texas not taking him, his hometown Austin.
Yeah.
Arkansas passed on him. He
wow.
kind of had to land at Purdue.
Wow, interesting. I did not know that.
I think that was the Danny Ford staff
at
Arkansas.
Wow.
Passed on Drew Brees.
Wow, how about that? So
but a lot in the neighborhood did too. Baylor and A&M and all them.
There's a lot of blame to go around on not going out there.
But
and
he
Drew
wanted
Brees.
Arkansas, and they went a different direction.
Wow, that is really good. Have you gotten familiar with? I was thinking about you earlier this week when I saw this out on social media. Are you familiar with Kalshi, the site that everyone is using for these the odds for the next coaches at different places?
I'm not.
So, if I can explain what Kalshi is, and I could be butchering, it's KALSHI, I believe. You can go and basically place bets, but it
kind of like Tankathon, or
kinda, but it more looks like, I don't know anything about stocks, but it almost looks you're basically more or less buying the odds.
Like Polymarket?
It's exactly like Polymarket.
Okay.
It's exactly what it is. But they do a lot of different things. They do sports, they do pop culture, different things like that. I used it for the Super Bowl when I wanted to make some of those more exotic bets that we don't have here in Tennessee. So there
are more exotics than we had.
Well, so we don't have a lot of the how long the national anthem is, or you can't bet on those on like the sports books in Tennessee.
So what's Mr. Bauschy saying?
So they're saying a lot with different coaches, but Brett McMurphy put out earlier this morning that the favorite right now for the Arkansas job is our very own Ryan Silverfield. Now it's only like 24%. I don't know what the other coaches are.
Okay, I'm not getting that from anyone on the Arkansas side, and on the Memphis side from someone that I would describe as very tight with him.
Yeah,
he's not sensing that.
Well, that's good. I would like that. I'm trying to see if I can.
It's very early in the process, even with all these coaches getting fired.
Very early. But
and I wonder who will be the kind of the breaks the dam that goes out and hires first.
Then that's the thing, is because that's what everyone. Anytime you ask or hear anybody talk about any of these opens, is they're trying to get out there early and go out and make that hire. And it's like, okay, well I can't wait to see who ultimately makes that hire first. Yeah, so who will be the permanent head coach of the Arkansas football team? Ryan Silverfield, 58%. Gus Malzahn, oh wow, it's moving in real time, Brett. How about this? Ryan Silverfield, 53%. John Sumrall, 19%, alongside Bobby Petrino at 19%. Gus Malzahn, 12%. And then those are the only fellas that are in double digits.
We'll talk about it tomorrow with Ty Richardson.
We will.
3:45.
We absolutely will. Will be a lot to talk about with
what
Ty
does
Richardson.
it have in there for Ole Miss, Auburn, Florida?
So let's see.
I guess it'd be Florida.
Yeah, it'd be Florida and Auburn. So Florida, Lane Kiffin, 48%. Eli Drinkwitz, 22%. Jed Fish, 15%. Those are the only coaches.
They know Jed Fish will say yes.
Yes. That's like
they don't know the first two will.
No, they do not.
Well, only one can.
Well, that's true. But they're going to, and whoever takes it is going to be the only one that was offered the job, Brett.
Forever.
They do not have, I do not see Auburn on here, so I guess they don't have odds yet for Auburn. I guess probably because that was so recent. But that's LSU. How about that? Lane Kiffin, 21%. John Sumrall, 16%. And Nick Saban, 10%.
That's laughable.
I almost feel silly even bringing it up when I see Nick Saban at 10%. But yeah, though, if you'll notice anytime like going forward, these national media members that cite the odds for the coach, they all use this app.
It's never going to happen. But would you Would you take Nick Saban for 1 year?
Absolutely.
Would too.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
But he's not going to do that.
He's not going to do that. But I would take him. I mean, if you're offering me, you could offer him for 6 games. You're offering him for 3 games. Nick Saban's your head coach. I mean, you're the front page of everything. So I would.
And here come the NIL money rolling.
Just flood in. I mean, everything good that could happen would come to your football program. So yeah, I would take it for 1 game if you were to ask me that. But we'll see how it all works out. And we'll definitely talk tomorrow about that when we're talking Arkansas football with Ty Richardson. But we need to get to our final break of the day. When we return, we're out of today's show with Moe's Crunch Time.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Men, let's be honest. Somewhere along the way, we stopped feeling like ourselves. The long days, the stress, the pressure, they pile up. Before you know it, you're running on fumes. You still show up every day, still handle your biz, but you can feel it. You've slowed down. You're not weak, just worn down. Deep down, every guy still wants to feel strong, capable, alive again. And that's what M-Drive is all about. Helping men reclaim what makes us men. M-Drive supplements help fight back against the effects of aging. Rebuilds energy, stamina, strength, so you can show up for your family, career, life, like the man you're meant to be, confident, steady, unshakable. It's not hype. M-Drive is the #1 men's health brand at Sprouts. Real supplements, proven results. I love their protein powder. Put it in my coffee every day. Go to mdriveformen.com. The code is HERD, H-E-R-D. It's important. You put it in, you get 25% off your first order. Take control, stay strong, M-Drive. Men, let's be men again.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One. Coming up on Thursday Night Football, it's AFC West action between the Raiders and the Broncos. Bo Nix and Denver lead the division and are on a 6-game winning streak. Now they host a Vegas team coming off an overtime loss to the Jaguars. Kevin Kugler and Ryan Harris will call all the action from the Mile High City on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Humdinger's Corporate Catering. Enjoy tacos made with crunchy slaw, grilled fish, and chicken, and the best taco sauce in town. Find out more, call Jenny Nash at 901-606-3172.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest Crunch Time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries. Its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
It's obviously Crunch Time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies. Well, Brett, what I learned, news coming out that Wisconsin head coach Luke Fickell will return as the Wisconsin football coach. I have no clue at all. But
except for Luke Fickell, everybody's won at Wisconsin.
And he has not done any winning at all. But according to the athletic director, they are going to stick with him. He said he's disappointed, frustrating how the season has gone. But they've evaluated every aspect of the program, and they're prepared to execute a plan that brings them back to the goals, standards, and expectations. So they'll try to run it back again next year.
Disappointed is the catchphrase.
Oh, yeah, it really is.
Everybody's always disappointed. What I learned last night, same old gangly, kind of goofy Jaron. 6'10", but plays 5'10". And he's really been insulated all the criticism for a couple of years now by the jaw disaster.
Yep.
The Grizzlies, I'm afraid, have two guys nobody wants.
Yeah, no, I think you're unfortunately right, kind of where everything is right now. Well, Brett, what I could have done without the really tragic news earlier this morning, we mentioned it earlier in the show, but Marshawn Kneeland and the self-inflicted gunshot wound, taking his own life. It sounds like it came after police tried to stop his vehicle. But, I mean, no matter what, nothing is so bad, so big to take your own life. At just 24 years of age, you mentioned it, had some big plays in that game Monday night against the Cardinals. And for just like that, life to be over. Really, really sad story. And just praying for his family and everybody that was around him, that Cowboys organization, because that's really tough anytime, especially in the middle of a season.
Sure is. I could have done without another Disney ESPN disaster with the failure of ESPN Bet. How do people keep their jobs with that kind of losses and that kind of swings and misses? Now DraftKings will step in and be the betting place for ESPN, right?
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Well, good. I'm glad they're staying in that. I was scared with that. They'd go back to the old days of acting like gambling doesn't exist, and we can't talk about it.
Well, we have gotten so far away from that you cannot do that, I don't think. But yeah, very weird. It felt like ESPN Bet really never had a chance.
$2 billion is the number lost?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's been bad. You know, that started off as like Barstool Bet, and then they had to sell it because it was miserable, and then and then they made the deal with ESPN. So it's been bad all around. Where are you beaming tonight?
UTSA at South Florida. Could a two-loss American team get to the championship game? We'll see. Both could be. We talked about JMU. I don't think they're going to be a threat. I think I'm for UTSA in this game.
I think so. I think we are. I'm not really sure, but I think so.
I'm gonna watch Raiders at Broncos because every time Bo Nix does well, it makes Gus Malzahn look worse.
Well, he's been really, really good in the NFL. How about beam me to this Auburn game tonight over on the hoop side? Let's see if they can rebound from nearly a loss against Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman, they'll go tonight. They have another opportunity to try to pull an upset, this time against Miami. But plenty to watch tonight with the NFL, college football, and college basketball. Enjoy all the action. That's all the time we have, and we'll talk to you again